And welcome back to another exciting episode of the DVD Blu-ray haul videos for Indie Film Cafe. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and I've got my co-host, Paul.
Oh, hey, it's New Count, better one known as Paul A Presenza, eating a French fry. Nom, 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 nom.
All right. And then next we have our guest, who is pretty much another co-host for this show. Please
Right.
welcome John Ward. What?
Co-host.
Co-host?
Yeah, he's a co-host. I'm the cow host.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That works for you, Paul.
There we
Paul,
go.
are you wearing a tank top right now?
That's hot. That's hot.
Oh Lord, you look like a Mexican wrestler.
He likes
You'd like
those.
that, you know. Anyway, we're here to do our DVD
It's
Blu-ray
hot, man.
haul.
It's hot. It's summer in Virginia.
So I think this is going to be the second to last episode that we're all going to do. And then I don't know if we're just taking a break or if we're gonna because Paul says he can't really afford to keep doing these right now.
Not at this rate.
No, but he's gonna be able to do like little hauls, and maybe we'll bring John for other little hauls occasionally back. But John and I are gonna continue to do our Blu-ray hauls for you on the Blu-ray Hunter channel. I was originally gonna stop that too, but
I was going to ask.
yeah, but I decided to bring that
He
back.
keeps saying he's going to stop this show. He's going to stop that show. He never
I know,
stops
and then I'm
anything.
just like, I can't quit.
I'm very confused because I have all these boxes and I have bags of Dollar Tree and they're sitting here because I don't know what we're going to do. Like, do I file them? Do I not file them? If I file them, then
Yeah,
I'm not
because
gonna
I'm
know what
very like all of a sudden, no, never mind, I don't want to do that. And then you're
I
like,
look
fuck,
like
I
a
just
hoarder
filed them.
thanks to you.
What?
I look like a hoarder thanks to you.
Yeah.
Well, we
there
kind
you
of
go.
all are, aren't we? When it comes
Yep.
to movies and physical media.
We're hoarders.
And that's kind of what my problem is, that I'm running out of space to put things in, so a bit of a break would be good. I don't, it doesn't have to be forever for me, but a bit of a break, a few
We might
months.
come back like all together, come back next year.
Yeah,
sometime.
that sounds about right.
Yeah. Just take a few months and take a little break and stuff. I mean, we've
Yeah,
been doing it for almost 2 years, of all of this.
I know our
Breaks are okay.
thousands of fans who watch this religiously are going to be upset by that.
I know.
They might be picketing outside. So yeah, because like with me, if you notice, this is now a full case. When originally it was like that little bookcase that had all the boxes stacked on it. Luckily, a customer at work gave me this bookcase because
Nice.
I'm running out of space. Otherwise, everything's just piled in boxes,
It's a problem.
with just labels on them saying
I mean,
oldies or whatever it is.
if you look at the studio, I have like bags and bags of DVDs that I haven't been able to put anywhere because I need to buy.
Right. He's got them tossed all over the place.
And I think what's going to end up happening is in this 2 months, 3 months, whatever, the break that we're going to have, I'm going to buy a new, like one more, shelf or whatever, at least bookcase, and put as many of them as I can fit in there, and stuff. And then maybe I'll have to add some more boxes of, stuff, but I have so many, and the DVDs I would like to take a break from, because if we put 20 DVDs all the time, the Blu-rays I don't have nearly as much as DVDs. So, but speaking of which, we do the Blu-rays first here, and we do 5. And so we'll do 5 each, starting with me. And by the way, Paul, so I noticed that these last few ones that I'm going to have for Blu-ray, for the Blu-rays here, are going to be all ones Paul loves in some way or another.
Yay!
Just get ready. So the first one is Picnic at Hanging Rock. It's a Criterion.
Great
That'll
film.
be also on the Blu-ray Hunter channel as well. Then next is The Lighthouse.
Oh yeah.
Done by Robert Eggers, A24 title.
That stars Batman and the Green Goblin.
Batman and the Green Goblin. So 2 different superheroes from 2 different, 2 different superhero and a supervillain from different
2 supers.
comics. Next is a Warner Archives one that Paul loves. That's Prince of the City.
Great
That's
movie.
a good one.
And Paul
Great movie.
showed that last week, I think last month, I believe. Next is something Paul recommended, so it's definitely something that he. It is a double feature of The Creeping Terror and Creep Behind the Camera.
Yep,
So
yep, yep, yep.
I haven't watched The Creep
That's a good
Behind
one.
the Camera yet, but I know we're doing that eventually
It's
for Docs That
really
Rock.
good.
Yeah,
So,
And
I
it's
got that
not
one
like a
too.
normal, it's not like a normal documentary either, because it's part documentary, part sort of live action, docudrama. It's really cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, I liked it.
And then last but not least is one that we've talked about on Indie Film Cafe and everything, and it is Hey Stop Stabbing Me on
Yay!
Blu-ray. And on the back, it's actually got our quote. You can read that, or Paul's quote,
Nice.
you know, without his moo cow stuff.
Yeah, they took out the moo cow part, but that's all right.
Yeah, well, I'm happy we got that Severin knows we exist, like
We
that.
exist.
That makes me happy that they're like, hey,
There you
this is
go.
the only. I think at the time that might have been like the only review they read online or whatever. And they're like, yeah, this is a good quote. This is a
Well,
nice
we've
quote for
we've
us.
we've got about 200 links now on Internet Movie Database, so I'm
Well,
plugging
we
them
do a
in.
lot more of older movies that are already out and everything, or
Right.
out on DVD or Blu-ray. So like most, this only got it because we did this in 2018, and this actual one came out in like 2021 or something, So they were just scouring the internet for a quote, and they found ours, and there you go. The rest is history. And the fact that I know both of those guys, and we actually reviewed this and said really nice things about Hey Stop Stabbing Me is a big, it's a big deal to me. So I love the
And
movie and happy to have it.
Sledgehammers at Dawn is on there too.
Sledgehammers at Dawn with commentary, and on top of that, it's got a whole bunch of short films that they did
Hmm.
together, and a documentary about the making of it. So I think two documentaries about the making of it. So I just so much content, on that one little disc. Seven really doesn't doesn't hold back. So all right, it is John Ward's turn now.
Okay, these are all Dollar Tree because, to be honest, I keep all my good stuff for the Blu-ray hunter. So, and I think some of these you guys have probably shown yourselves because they've been sitting here for a while. This one I have no idea really how to pronounce the title. I have no idea. Rise of
Oh,
the Warrior
Boudica.
Queen.
Boudica.
How do you say it?
Boudica.
Boudica.
Boudica?
Yeah,
Like Bootylicious?
sort of.
Okay. So I got that one. This one I want to see. This I would put kind of with maybe my Nicolas Cage type stuff to watch. It does have Nicolas Cage, but it's kind of that type of thing. And that's Killing Season with John Travolta.
Oh no.
Yep.
So
No.
there they are on the back.
Awesome.
So
How is it that there are
this
not
is
enough movies with John Travolta and Nick Cage together?
I think there's like one, right? Just Face Off.
Just Face Off. I think Face Off's the only one.
Mm-hmm. There need to be more.
Yeah, I think so. And then this is one of the best Doctor Who in between season movies that they did. It's with David Tennant, and it's Planet of the Dead.
Nice.
Okay.
So this one's pretty cool. It all takes place out in the desert. The bus gets trapped out there on another planet. It's pretty cool. This is one I think you guys have shown. Was it Shimmer?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I thought that sounded kind of interesting. And this one I think you've also shown, which is Ghost Team 1, Arouse the Dead.
I don't think I know that one.
Yeah, it's profane, rowdy, oversexed, and wonderfully juvenile.
Sounds like something I would love.
Oh yeah.
Hilariously offensive.
Yay.
Sounds fun.
So, yeah. So there you go. That's my 5.
All right, Paul, you're up.
A fairly mixed bag of some interesting stuff. First up, we have an HBO series that I freaking loved because it was really dark, gritty, and frankly quite appalling, and that is Chernobyl. And if you haven't seen this, you really need to see this.
It
I've
is
heard
excellent.
of it, yeah. I know of it.
There's some seriously squeamish stuff going on in there. It's really good.
You know it's good when Putin sat there and denied it,
Right.
and that they're going to make their own version because we Americans lie.
Yeah, right. um, next, I finally got the Vestron Collector series of the movie we just covered, Dagon.
Nice.
That's a good one.
That'll
So
be
that
on
came in.
that'll be on either my next haul or it'll be on the just on the Blu-ray Hunter haul.
So you're saying there's two options?
What do you mean? No, I'm saying I've got it too.
No, I'm talking about like in the movie Dagon, where he's like, oh, there's
Oh, yeah. Two
two
possibilities.
possibilities. Next is a Paul Naschy movie. And if you know anything about Euro stinkers, you know that Paul Nash, he's kind of the king of Euro stinkers. And
he's Lon Chaney Jr. of that time,
right,
or Lon Chaney.
This one is actually pretty interesting. It's one of his better ones, in my opinion. And when I saw it, I had to grab it. And it is Inquisition.
And it's not the Inquisition, right? It's not about the Spanish Inquisition.
Well, this is a Spanish film. So there you go.
Maybe it is a Spanish Inquisition.
Next, we got a complete wackadoodle Asian fantasy sci-fi mashup that I have been searching for a long, long time. Saw it when I was a kid. Never managed to get it anywhere, but I finally saw it on Blu-ray, and that is 20 Zoo Warriors.
20 what?
20 Zoo Warriors from the Magic Mountain.
Zoo Warriors?
Yes, ZU.
Oh. I thought it was ZOO.
No.
That was going to be a bunch of animals.
This is batshit crazy chopsaki fantasy madness.
Nice. You love your chopsaki kind of shit.
We're going to do it on IFC, trust me.
It's not hopping vampires, is it?
Just about everything hops in this one. It's crazy. Hops and flies and you name it. And then finally, this one is one that I think it was I forget who, one of the sales that John Ward sent me, and I was poking around. It might have been SOV. I forget who it is. You'll know exactly what I mean. Martian Massacre.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
with Crystal Cleveland.
Yeah, directed by
John
Brad
C.
Thomason.
Phillips, Tina Louise, really?
AKA the other Virginian out there filming B movies.
Right.
So we love Brad Thomason because he works with all our friends.
Right. Yay, Crystal Cleveland. That'd be great to see her.
I have started noticing that Brad will comment on my stuff, even though for some reason I guess we've been unfriended, and I don't think it was a personal thing. I think whatever, but he'll comment, like reply to all my stuff and laugh when we're referring to a little filmmaker that we all don't like. Even he doesn't like him, and that's bad because I think Brad likes everybody. Because Brad's a nice guy.
I'll be right back.
Are you done? All right.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. I'll wait to show off my stuff. Was not expecting him to just get up and leave, but usually it's me who's doing that.
Yes. What? And you know how I feel about this.
Well, for me, it's usually the bathroom, and I
because you're 80. That.
Yeah.
You should totally be sponsoring us, Coke, because between Moody and I, we probably keep you guys in business. Him with regular Coke and me with Coke Zero.
Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3.
For me, it would be Pepsi.
Eek. Someone's got to be the contrarian in the group.
Coke's too thick for me. I think it tastes like oil.
You taste like oil.
You are oil.
No, you're oil.
All right, so
you're oil times 20.
No, you're a towel.
Got a bunch of movies, some from eBay, some from different places. So first up on my DVD, my first round of DVDs, we do 2 rounds of DVDs, each 10, is a couple that I got from eBay, and they are York Entertainment titles. I'd heard about them because we had discussion. I asked what happened to York Entertainment, and it got interesting. Some people know a lot and said stuff, and then some people were corrected by Tanya York herself. So
There were
that was
things and
interesting.
stuff going on with that,
Yeah,
apparently.
and you know what? Honestly, I was loving that she came on and she was saying her side of everything because you know what? Not many people will do that. Some people just leave it alone. She actually had, wanted to set things straight. So good for her. And it made me want to go out and buy a couple of titles that I saw from York Entertainment and that we're interested in. I'll probably buy some more by the next haul,
Do me
or
a
whatever.
favor, send me that link. I'd like to check them out and see what they're offering.
Well, they're not offering anything. There's no like sale or anything.
Oh,
It was,
damn.
I went on eBay and just looked up, but I went on
Oh,
Google and looked up what York Entertainment movies they had, like their list of
okay.
movies, and then I went on eBay and I just started looking
Because
up.
I'd looked before to see if they had a website where they were selling
No,
stuff, and
they're
they
not.
don't have it.
They used to be yorkentertainment.com, but she really hasn't put anything out since for a while. So I mean,
Yeah.
whatever reason, she just hasn't.
Yeah,
First one
just
up.
it's
What?
just she just had her time, and that was, I would think that was probably about it. So a friend of mine was in a few of her films, Mike Aranda, who was in Creepazoids and like El Chupacabra and I think it was like Street Wars, some gang wars like that. But
Sounds
I have
like
a little
they
collection
need
of
distribution.
hers. So
Eh,
I got like 5 movies from her, something like that.
Okay. Well, first up is Corpses, directed by Mr. Rolf Kanefsky, who we've interviewed. Very cool dude.
That's for York.
Yeah, it's New York. He actually
Wow.
talked
Okay.
about it. He talked about it. That's what made me like get interested. It was the first one I was interested because it got Tiffany Shepis and a couple other
Hmm.
people in it. So Jeff Fahey, it's going to be fun. And it might end up being an IFC film, I think, at some point. We'll see.
Someone has a crush on Tiffany Shepis.
Oh, love her.
Oh, we all do. We all
Yeah, we
should.
should all have it. We should all have a
I
crush.
I
know.
mean, I've met her a few times and she's the sweetest person in the fucking world.
She's nice.
Yeah. I love her to death. The next one up is a Katherine Heigl movie with Jeremy London. It's called Descendant. And I just did a review of this on Horror Film Lovers First Time Watch Fridays by myself. And it was okay. It was pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Let's be
Never heard of
honest.
it.
Yeah.
I know of it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
pretty
like
bad.
Edgar Allan Poe or something. If
Yeah,
I remember right.
it's a
Yeah.
descendant of Edgar Allan Poe, and apparently he's going around killing everybody. Now, this is not a spoiler because there's not like any kind of twist. Like you can tell from the very beginning that this guy is the murderer, and everything. But there's a lot of stupid shit they did and stuff, and just it wasn't that good.
Did you say apparently?
Hmm?
Did you say apparently?
No, I said apparently, but or whatever if I said it.
Okay.
Anyway, next is an interesting one from eBay because it is a movie that didn't come with the movie. And the guy gave me a refund and said I could keep the movie it came with and everything. But I went to buy Witches of Oz by Lee Scott, and it came with this disc. Sci-Fi
Wow.
Invasion.
Which I
Glad
have.
glad to
Yeah.
see that guy checks his inventory before he sends it out.
No. It was literally from Big Lots, and it was all shrink wrapped. So he didn't
Shrink
even do
wrapped the
that.
wrong one.
They shrink wrapped the wrong one and then sent it out to Big Lots and stuff. And
Oh, okay.
so this was not anything to do with him.
Asleep at the switch.
It's Mill Creek's problem. Mill Creek is an idiot.
Well, there's a big surprise.
Well, that'd be a computer problem, probably in the, whether
Well, it's weird because it says Mill Creek.
malfunction in the machinery.
If
Because
they
Mill
have a
Creek is this
machine, a computer, they
image.
probably have a couple of trained monkeys.
Anyway, but Sci-Fi Invasion sounded fun. It's got morons from outer space,
Oh,
alien prey, future women, and star pilot. So
Okay, there you go.
there you go. Next is a movie or a TV show that got recommended. It's the complete series because it only lasted one season. Recommended to me by Dustin Hubbard. So I figured I'd give it a shot, which is Point Pleasant.
heard good things about it.
Know
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
It's kind of like a X-Files kind of thing.
Yeah.
You look at it, and, whatnot. So
Yeah, that back's not trying to be Mulder and Scully at all.
no, this is very Mulder and Scully.
Looks like she even has red hair.
She does. She does. And Paul loves his red-haired women, so
Oh God, yeah.
um all right, so that was what, 4. So number 5 is a movie directed by Mr. Wolfgang Meyer, and it is 15 Till Midnight, co-written by
Okay.
Brandon Slagle and starring Devaney Penn and Brandon
Yep,
Slagle
Oh,
and
okay.
Dee Martin and Andrew Roth. So
I know that one.
yeah, it's you know, I was actually on set for that one. I was in a bar scene, but you don't you don't see me really. You might see me for like one split second or whatever. So it's okay.
Devaney Penn.
Yep. Um, Next is the complete first season of Charmed, another TV show.
Okay.
And then also, interestingly enough, I got the final season. Now I'll be getting all the rest of them at some point, but
So you got the beginning and you got the end.
yeah. Well, I
The
got
alpha
the
and the
end
omega.
because it went originally. I got the ending because it went with my whole Marnette Patterson thing. She was with Kaylee Cuoco at the last, 7 episodes or whatever of the season, and then, uh, but then I was like, well, I might as well also buy the rest of the series, but I don't want to just buy 7, 8, go down. I want to start watching them at some point again, so I might as well get them, get the whole series at some point. So how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got 3 more. This one's a classic. I got this from, I believe, the Restore back in the day. A Fish Called Wanda.
Oh, love that movie.
Yep.
I'm
It's a
surprised we haven't
classic.
done that yet on
Film
Film
Freaks.
Freaks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's really
It's
good. John Cleese.
Ken coming to kill me.
Man,
And
did its sequel, unofficial sequel, suck.
Yeah.
Fierce Creatures was awful.
yeah,
It's
well,
disappointing.
speaking of awful and disappointing, I've got another one for you guys, which is The Love Guru
Oh
by Mike
God.
Myers.
Never
I
went
don't
near
have
it.
this movie. I was surprised, but I'm also not surprised that I don't have it because it wasn't a thing like, I was super excited to
Would
own.
not go near
But
it.
but it is a movie that's, Mike Myers, and I do tend to like him and his wacky little
I
characters that he
I
has.
like Wayne's World. I can even put up with Wayne's World 2, and I love all 3 Austin Powers movies, but
I
I will
love
not
So I
watch
Married an
Love
Axe
Guru.
Murderer, I
I
mean,
stand Mike Myers.
but everybody has their own taste. So last but not least is a movie that I got because we did a movie for Indie Film Cafe, and I was looking up somebody in it, and I found out they were in this movie, and I was like, what is this? And I looked it up and I got it for like $5 on eBay or so, and I was like, all right, well, it's cheap on eBay, I might as well pick it up, and it's Midgets versus Mascots.
I've heard about that. That's
Yeah,
been
I think I told
recommended
you
to me
about
many
it.
times.
So
Isn't that politically incorrect to call them mascots?
And I think it's
probably
on Tubi as well.
it's got Gary Coleman, uh let's see, Jason Mewes, Scottie Pippen,
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy, probably all. Oh my God, Gary Coleman's running with he's part of the midgets, I guess. Oh,
No,
okay.
just
Yeah.
kidding.
So there you
I
go.
have seen material.
Maybe I'd have to check it out first and see what I think of it. It might be so bad I don't want to even show it, but we'll see. It looks
Show
awful.
it.
But it's got Jason Mewes in it, so
Yep.
and Ron Jeremy. So who's in prison right now. So
Those two things are negatives to me. So
Jason Mewes?
yeah, guy's not a good actor or anything. He's just
I like
Kevin
Jason
Smith's
Mewes.
guy.
I like him too. I can't help it.
Yeah, I'll always support him. So anyway, it's your turn, John.
All right, so all these are Dollar Tree. So, but knowing that these are our last 2 hauls, I did go through stuff and try to pick out good films instead of just random stuff. So, the first one is, and I'm sorry, they're going to have to change this title now. One of the words in this is not acceptable anymore. But this is Ryan Gosling in First. I'll just do this. First. I don't think I should say that word because it may get us canceled. No, you can't say that anymore. Men are evil.
I'm saying it, man.
That's
First
awful.
Man.
Oh, but I guess that this did get lampooned a little bit when it came out by feminists because it is called First Man, and this is about the first man on the moon. And so I think this, I remember it getting ripped on a little bit, but fuck off.
I'll
Um,
probably buy it on Blu-ray or 4K at some point because I've heard it is beautiful, you know.
Yeah, I've heard it's a decent film. I am not much of a Ryan Gosling fan. I'm not impressed by him whatsoever. So I don't know. No interest.
Ryan Gosling is a man that a lot of people like. So now because
Mhm.
of Barbie. So,
I
you
mean,
know.
this was long before Barbie.
I mean, I've always liked him. I've had no. At one point, he was going to play Logan in Logan's Run, but of course, that's when he
Oh
was much
God.
younger. So, but yeah, I like the guy. I have no problem with him. Here is one with somebody who, for some reason, I'm now liking. I didn't before, but he's grown on me. But I don't understand why he's so popular and has dated the people that he has,
Oh
and that
yeah.
is Pete Davidson is the king of Staten Island.
Yeah, I have that on
Um,
Blu-ray. I love that
I've
movie.
seen that a few times.
Have you
It's
seen the movie? Like,
No,
have
no,
you?
I've seen it
Okay.
on Blu-ray on the Dollar Tree a few times. I just haven't gotten near it because I'm not much of a Pete Davidson fan either.
it's a
Well,
Judd
I mean, have you
Apatow
watched
film.
anything that Pete Davidson has done, Paul,
I've
or do
seen
you just
clips
not
and
like him
bits and
because he's
pieces.
popular?
No, I've seen bits and pieces of things and enough to draw at least some conclusions.
No, I think you need to give him a shot because that movie is actually co-written by him with Judd Apatow, and it's actually based on his life, where his dad was his dad was a fireman, and he like his dad wanted him to become a fireman, but really in real life he didn't have any interest in that stuff, and then his dad died in the fire, in a fire and everything, so he kind of grew up, with that, you know being the son of a fireman kind of thing. It was a pretty cool movie, in my opinion. But
Here's the big problem with it. It's 2 hours and 17 minutes.
a
Judd
lot of
Apatow,
Judd Apatow's movies are
can he
long.
please just make a 90-minute movie? Please.
He like it's like he throws everything in there in the kitchen sink, and it's just his style. You know, I never complain. I'm always happy to watch him because, whatever.
I've seen
Yeah,
yeah, I've seen all this stuff. And now this is, I think, a great movie. Jason Reitman, George Clooney. I love this film, Up in the Air.
Up in the Air, yeah, the
never
George
saw
Clooney
it.
movie.
Yeah, it's Jason Reitman. So from the director of Juno.
And Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes, it was a good choice
But
for that. But this is a really good movie. It's very good. It kind of follows, like, Thank You for Smoking and some of his other ones that are very sarcastic. So
Yeah,
I
I
enjoyed it
remember
quite a
when it
bit.
came out. I just never got around to seeing it.
Highly recommended. And then this one I did want to see in the theater because I'm a huge John Lithgow fan, and that is The Tomorrow Man. But I
I've
missed
heard
it.
of it, yeah.
So I thought it looked good from the trailer.
Not to be
So,
confused with the Tomorrow People.
or Tomorrowland, also starring George
Tomorrowland.
Clooney.
Also starred, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Another Disney bomb.
Ah,
And then we have John dies at the end. Still haven't seen it, but I mean,
John dies at the
spoilers.
end.
But yeah,
Spoilers.
spoiler alert in the title, Jesus.
Yeah.
But
Got
what if
another.
what if you watch the movie and he didn't die at the end?
What if there was no John?
Yeah, I
What
would
if
There
watch
was no
that.
there
end,
was no at the?
There was no
or an
end.
end. There was no end. Movie just
Wow,
keeps going.
that's hard to
Well,
say.
you know what? That was the disappointment of the never ending story because they fucking ended. And I was just like, that's
And the
false
story just got
advertising.
worse as it went on.
I know.
It's like the writer just got lazy in each book, or each chapter. Just go, okay.
Let's just kill
Um,
more horses.
Oh, don't talk about that. That's sad.
that's
That
yeah,
that was the
that's.
scene that actually made me cry.
I know that's the scene that everybody cries at.
No.
And now we have a film that is certified fresh, if that means anything to you. It's Paroxysm with Ava Green, who is gorgeous, and Matt Dillon,
Oh,
who is funny.
I
I
love
thought you were
Ava
going to
Green.
say he was also gorgeous.
He is a good looking man.
He
I
is.
will say that he is good looking. But
Eva Green is
she is gorgeous.
amazing.
Unfortunately, his brother, his older brother, is
Yeah,
didn't get that didn't get that thing from him. You know, but
it's what I call the twins paradox. You know, like Schwarzenegger and DeVito. You know, he's Schwarzenegger and his brother got the DeVito. So
Eva Green's a really good actress too.
yeah,
and she's been naked. So that
but she's
that
not
says a
naked in
lot for
that
me.
movie, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but probably not. Except to go back to First Man, she is in an astronaut suit.
Yeah.
So now we are being correct.
Oh,
So that's okay.
so now that's First Woman.
And her name comes before Matt Dillon's name.
Shouldn't that be called First Woman?
It should be, or first person, I guess.
Hmm.
Next one is not The Last Starfighter, but The Last Starship. So don't
Is this
get them confused.
Is that
Yeah,
a
I have that.
Starfighter ripoff?
That's a cheap stinker. I have it.
Yeah, I don't. I have no idea. I haven't seen it. A lot of this stuff, I picked up because it's look, it's science fiction. I'll grab it.
Right.
This is an end of the world movie, and it is called Remarkable. But it's that's the review. But it's only
Only.
Only.
Yeah.
Only.
So
It's the only movie.
It was at the Tribeca Film Festival.
Only the
2019.
lonely.
I was thinking of that title. Only the lonely.
And now we have a 2-movie double feature. The first film on this sucked, and the second movie, it was actually a pretty good remake, even though the original is much better. Oh, it's actually a Mark Wahlberg double feature. I didn't realize.
Italian Job and
Painting
Painting Game.
Job.
Nice.
This is awful. It's based on a true story, and if I'm supposed to be rooting for these guys, I am such a horrible person.
No, I don't think so, because I think everybody
they
wasn't rooting for them.
Yeah, they just end up torturing this guy for like 2 hours, and it's just, I guess it's supposed to be funny, but it's not.
Boy.
They were torturing the audience for 2 hours.
Yeah. And then The Italian Job is the movie that Edward Norton did not want to do, except he was under contract
That's what
to
you
do
get.
it. So they forced him to do it, or I think it's what Warner
Selling your
Brothers?
soul
No,
to the
Paramount.
studio.
Yeah, Paramount said we'll sue you if you don't do it. So he did it regrettably. So he didn't want to do it at all. Are these on? Okay, they're on separate discs at least, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
And then my last one is a series that maybe Paul and I were old enough to remember as children, maybe not Jonathan, but it is Bradrick Crawford starring in Highway Patrol, the best of season 2.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They didn't have season 1, they only had season 2.
Yeah, I saw it a few times when I was a kid. It wasn't really much of anything. It was kind of meh.
It's a ton of episodes. So
yeah,
that's good.
Pretty cool. Good nostalgia if you're into it.
Yeah. But it's back in the day when things were like 24 episodes instead of just 6.
Right.
Or like the Idol 5. It's not even
actually
a series.
Got a couple of retro series to bring up on this haul too, so we'll get to that.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, that's it. Then Paul, you're
all right, Paul, you're up.
All right, well, just like Mr. Ward, I'm going to clean out my Dollar Tree garbage first. And let's see here. Okay, first one is another Sean C. Phillips movie, because you can always pick up a Sean C. Phillips movie at the Dollar Tree. And it is Restricted Area.
I have
want
that movie.
one. I actually want that one. I've been looking for that one.
I've
I
got
have it too. If I find it at the Dollar Tree, I'll send you a copy.
Cool, thank you.
All right. Next one is starring Dan Stevens and Micah Monroe, and it's from the creators of Your Next, and it's called The Guest.
The Guest. Yeah.
That is a good one.
I have that on Blu Ray, and I love it.
Yeah,
and it's got deleted scenes and a Q&A and got commentary too.
Yeah, Adam Wingard does an amazing commentary track with Simon.
So for $1.25, I mean that's worth it. You know what I mean? You're getting all kinds of extras like that. That's nice.
Yep.
Next, we got a sci-fi original movie, so you know it's going to be crappy. And it's from the Man-Eater series, so I imagine Moody already has either seen it or knows about it. Roadkill.
Yeah, we reviewed that. I believe I reviewed that with Dustin Hubbard. It's pretty bad.
It looks it.
It's like an Irish, I think Irish legend of like a killer bird, and the we are the roadkill.
Bad Bird. Bad Bird movie.
Yeah.
Next one is a movie from with Eric Thomason rather, Sarah West, and Benson Jack Anthony, and it's called Awoken, Never
Oh,
Sleep Again.
Don't know that
oh,
one.
they're awoken.
Yep, they're awoken. They're not woke. They're awoken.
Is there a difference?
I don't know. Next is a group of folks, which is interesting. I just know James Earl Jones and Bruce Dern are in there for a hot second, but it's called Warning Shot,
Warning shot.
and it's based on a true event.
Maybe have that. Maybe. Probably would have gotten it. Yeah, just for Bruce Dern.
Right. Next Dollar Tree one is The Rebels.
The
Don't know that one.
rebels.
So it looks like a Rome versus barbarians kind of thing. Let's see here. Oh God, this one's I can't stand Shia LaBeouf,
Yeah,
But-
oh, thank you. Thank you.
but I do like Tom Hardy and Gary Oldman and Mia Wasikowska and Jessica Chastain and Guy Pearce. So this, if it weren't for Shia LaBeouf, this would have been a perfect thing. But it's called Lawless.
I've heard
I
of
know
it.
of
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
I've heard
it's
good
a
things about it.
western.
God, he's a douchebag.
I know.
I used to like him. I used to like him before he just became douchey.
He's such a. I don't understand these people. They're such privileged assholes. I would get down on my hands and if I was a religious person and thank God every single day for the life that they have.
I don't even know anything about any of that stuff. I just think he's a lousy actor. But
Oh,
next we
then
got
you would
one-
dislike him more if you really found out about him.
we got one I've never heard of from somebody I've never heard of, Matt Levette, and it's called Payback.
Mm-mm.
I know the Mel Gibson payback. That's it.
It's from Mensch Productions. So I don't know if I should be
Mensch?
taking that seriously or what. So last two, I have a Game of Thrones ripoff called I Am the Dragon.
I am the dragon.
Is that like I Am Legend, but with a dragon?
Yep.
I am
He's a
dragon.
not a legend.
I am dragon.
Legend of a Dragon. I don't know. But it's got a whole bunch of Eastern European names in there, so I'm wondering if this is a Russian Game of Thrones ripoff.
Yeah, maybe they just messed up on the title and they're like, it looks like they're saying I am the dragon.
And last of this group, unfortunately, this is a little sad because he's gone. Rutger Hauer's in it, and it's called The Sonata.
Aw.
Yes, got that one. Yeah.
I think I've heard of it or something or seen it.
I love me some Rutger Hauer.
I might even own it. I don't know yet. I haven't, I guarantee you I have probably multiple copies of shit because I just haven't been paying attention,
I was very lucky once. I was coming back from LA and my friend Philip, he said, take this route because you'll at the top, you'll go to that like diner area that they filmed The Hitcher in. And so I did it and I pulled off and they had like all these pictures and it says this is the booth that they sat at. And then outside was that whole truck area where they were at like the motel and you could walk around it. And
That's
so
cool.
that was pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, that's their big thing is that they shot one movie there and it was The Hitcher.
Nice. I wouldn't mind going back and visiting Vegas again at some point.
Ah,
Oh no,
Whoops.
Jonathan fell over.
I did fall over.
And he can't get up.
And now
Oh,
he's
Lord.
blurry.
All right. Well, let's start you're done, Paul, right? I'm gonna make sure. You're done with your 10, right? First 10.
Yep.
Okay. So next is a movie I was telling Paul about, and I hope one day we do for Docs at Rock because it's a movie that I really enjoyed when I first saw it. And it's a movie. I'll just show it. It's called Overnight.
Yeah,
And
you were
it's
talking about
the
it.
director of the director of Boondock Saints, Troy Duffy, and how he made tried to make Boondock Saints, the crap he went through, kind of his ego taking over, and how he pissed off a lot of studios, and then eventually they were able to get the movie made, but a lot of that held over, and that's why, like, Boondock Saints 2 took forever to
And
get
why
made.
he's pretty much vanished.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
needs to.
he's completely blacklisted. Yeah, I'm surprised that he got part 2 made, but I would almost like, dude, just make part 3. If that's like the only movies you could make part 3 and make it a trilogy. But
Everybody would love that.
yeah, I think the documentary didn't go far enough. Like I don't really like where it ended. I think it could have gone further.
I need to rewatch it, but I do remember really liking it, and I
Yeah,
think
he's a real asshole in it. I mean, I could understand why he got blacklisted.
and I think it's a great documentary, especially if you want to know more about what it's really like, kind of with studios, dealing with studios, like especially like the Weinstein Company, or Miramax, because at that time he was trying to get Boondock Saints through Miramax, which would have been perfect, and they had like Mark Wahlberg attached to it and stuff like that. But he demanded too much money, and he demanded too much stuff of his, stuff like that. And Weinstein was like, "Fuck you, you're nobody." Like, we're not gonna give. You're lucky you were getting what you were getting, and so he ended up having to make it with lesser people, lesser known people at the time, who later on it became their big thing. So he did it the right way, but it sort of taught him a harsh lesson.
I
Now
would
you see
disagree
what
with
Neil
that.
Breen has to
What?
go through.
I think he did it absolutely the wrong way. I think if it, at the time, Harvey Weinstein was the guy. So I mean, if he's willing to, give you all this money and Mark Wahlberg is involved, that's the way you go. Now you could say
Right.
like Norman Reedus is in it. And that's what makes it popular, but he completely destroyed his career and he deserved it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. Next is another
Excuse me.
over, but it's a movie I remember seeing back in, I want to say 2006. It was when I was on a cruise ship and I was babysitting my niece, and she was sleeping, so I turned on the TV and this was playing, and I was like, it's not a terrible movie. It's kind of cute. It's kind of funny. I wouldn't buy it on like Blu Ray, I don't think. But it's Over Her Dead Body. Um Actually, wait. This wasn't the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of the other one. This was later. I watched this
Overboard?
later.
Never
But
mind.
this is Paul
Never
Rudd,
mind.
Eva Longoria Parker. I was thinking of the other one. I was thinking of Just Like Heaven, the Reese
Great
Witherspoon
story,
movie.
Paul, Jonathan.
See, can't even get my name right. All right, there you go.
Sorry,
Um,
Steve.
yeah, Longoria Parker, Paul Rudd, Lake Bell, and Jason Biggs. I actually had an idea similar to this at the same time this got made. I got really upset, but it has a better title than what I had, which was Polter X, which is like a poltergeist, but your ex.
I have a better title than that. What about Zombie Chicken Stapled to Your Face?
Shut the fuck up. Just stop with
I
that
would
shit.
so see that.
Yes, you see? You
Nah,
see?
That's a trauma movie right there.
Hell
I would so see that.
All right. Next is a movie that John Ward. I'm not sure if he's going to show this off. He might on this group, or he might do it
I
on the
highly
next call.
doubt it. I have a theme or a genre right here that
Okay.
is only
Well, it's a movie
related to one
that
thing.
we by a director that we both do, all three of us do not like. However, he told me to buy it because if who knows, maybe one day it may not be available or something like that.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
But it is Summer
oh,
House Slaughter.
Uh-oh.
There's an issue with it right now.
Jonathan, hold it up, hold it
Yep.
up. Paul looks
See,
sad.
Paul
You don't
looks
have a
sad.
Justin Ferguson film.
I'm not sure if I should be sad about that or not.
Yeah. Next is
Should I briefly say what's going on with it without giving names?
Sure.
This was originally a cheerleader camp to the death, which was done by Retrosploitation, and then I guess a particular filmmaker who's making part 3 and the guy from Retrosploitation found out that this was going to Wild Eye Releasing, and they didn't like that the title was being changed, and it is very possible that a lawsuit could happen And so I immediately ordered this when I saw it on like Oldies or Hamilton Book, whatever it was, and told Jonathan, you should get this because if he gets sued and they remove it, we have a collector's item. If he doesn't, then it's just another.
And you didn't tell
movie.
me?
Well, I didn't think that. Would you buy it?
It's Dustin Ferguson, so probably.
Yeah, probably.
He's got
He's got all his bad movies. You know, he probably.
Oh, I didn't think you owned any Dustin Ferguson movies. Then go buy it.
Go buy it. I mean, you can get on eBay for like $5 or something. You know?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even think you cared about Dustin Ferguson. So
no,
only because I can't stand him.
Well, here's another movie that
I won't buy his movie.
Here's another terrible movie, but it's one I might do for Hollywood Knockbusters at some point because it's a Hollywood movie. But it's pretty bad. It's called Top Dog, starring Chuck Norris.
Oh God, I remember when that came out.
So bad.
It's terrible, but I want to do it for Hollywood Knockbusters because it is a movie that I think bombed in the box office.
Oh yeah.
Badly, and it's
not
Turner
and a Hooch and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I always like dog movies, no matter what, unless the dog dies, or whatever. I always like dog movies, so
sometimes the dog deserves to die.
Hey, don't ever say no
like
dog.
That one we saw the evil dog killing everyone.
Oh yeah, man's best friend, but that wasn't even. It was almost not even like a real dog. That was like a mutated, generated.
What about Cujo?
Beast. Cujo deserved. Well, Cujo deserved to be let down, put down peacefully, because
wasn't his fault that he got bit.
I know, and he got bit, but he wasn't. I mean, he was going to die.
Dude, we should do a killer dog movie, and have like it clearly be a stuffed animal. I think that would be a lot of fun.
All right. Anyway, next is a movie that you guys mentioned, but it's the remake of it that you guys just mentioned. The Hitcher.
Hitcher.
A movie I will never own. That film is awful. It is awful.
Does Sean Bean die in this?
I want to say yes, because that's why he keeps they gender swap. And then when he gets in the car, he keeps killing because he wants the girl to kill him. And he's like, until you kill me, I'm going to keep killing people.
That's stupid.
I saw it at Restore for $1. I was like, I don't know if I'll ever really watch it, but it'll be in my collection.
It's probably no worse than The Hitcher 2. So.
All right. So here's a double feature film with Robert De Niro and another one with Joe Pesci. Right? It's The Swap with Robert De Niro.
Oh, damn, that's old.
And then it's got Ruby's Dream with Joe Pesci.
I've heard of that. I've never seen it.
Which one? Ruby's Dream?
Ruby's Dream.
Yeah, so they look cheesy 70s or 80s movies, ish kind of stuff. So I'll definitely, maybe watch it. I don't know. It looks at some point.
Packaging there where you think you might be getting to see them together.
Yeah, I mean, it says The Swap starring Robert De Niro, and then it goes, also includes Joe Pesci in, and it doesn't even say what he's in. Oh, Ruby's Dream. Okay, so it does say it. So at the end, it says Ruby's Dream. So but it does say it's a double feature. So it's basically a Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci double feature,
without them in the same film.
Without them in the same film, no.
Boo.
Next is a very famous Hollywood film. One I should maybe one day get on the Blu Ray or 4K, but I don't own it on DVD yet, so I bought it on here, which is Dangerous Liaisons.
Good movie.
Great movie.
But I don't know. I tend to like Cruel Intentions a little bit better because
I do too. The updated version of Dangerous Liaisons, I do.
It doesn't have John Malkovich though.
No,
it doesn't. But it has Ryan Felipe, so
But it has Sarah Michelle Gellar and Selma Selma Blair kissing each other.
Selma Blair, yeah, and it's got Reese Witherspoon.
I did not expect to like that, but I ended up liking it. So
I liked it because it was pretty much Dangerous Liaisons. Like the guy, he was such a dick, and he was such
Dangerous Liaisons with teenagers.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Played by 30-year-olds.
Played by 30-year-olds that you like. You liked Sarah Michelle Gellar. I can't.
I know. I
I
love
know.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, and I love Selma Blair.
So, I think I have this in a multi-pack somewhere on DVD, but I saw it out in the wild and thought, it'd be nice to have it on its own.
Out
It
in the
is The
wild.
Leprechaun in the Hood,
Oh God, I
starring
have
Warwick
none.
Davis and
Bad,
Ice-T.
bad,
I got all of those in a big Leprechaun
naughty,
I
collection.
think
naughty
I do
movie.
too. I eventually want to get them on Blu-ray and shit, and
Yeah, I got
or
them
in
on Blu-ray.
4K. But then another adaptation of a classic story is just starring Josh Hartnett.
And
Oh,
and
here,
he's
oh
like
Julia
face.
he's like
Stiles.
this because
Oh,
it's
oh.
basketball. He's a basketball player, so he's like
Yes.
this.
Yep.
Because the O is the ball.
So it's its own story of Othello, which
Except Othello is black and they put a white guy in there. That is wrong. That film should be canceled.
Oh, fellow.
White fellow.
White Othello. All right. So now, and last but not least, or maybe it's least, I don't know. We'll see in a second.
Do you know what that saying is? Then?
What?
Last but not least. If you don't know if it's last but not least,
Well,
do you know
anyway.
what it?
Psychosis.
Psychosis.
It looks okay.
Don't know.
It stars
Looks like a psycho
Charisma
wannabe.
Carpenter.
Yay.
Richie Hartnett, Paul, I don't know any of these other people, Sean Chapman and Justin Hawkins. It looks
Why
like,
isn't Charisma Carpenter in more stuff? She's still gorgeous beyond belief.
well, I'm surprised they have audio commentary with all the other people involved, but Charisma.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, why would you have her in the commentary too? But it does have commentary in a gag reel or making of Psychosis and deleted scenes. So
believe it or not, she's on Facebook, and I'm actually one of her things, and she actually does her own Facebook stuff, and she's dropping pictures that she does, and 55 years old or 54 years old, just gorgeous as ever, as ever.
I love Charisma Carpenter, so I would like to see her in more stuff. I think
Yes.
so. If we could put her in a movie, we would.
Oh God,
second.
yes.
All right. So how about you, John? You're first up.
Well,
next
first I'm going to say that Clint Beaver just sent me a link that he says I could share to everybody for the Riff Tracks Apex Predators episode.
Oh wow, fun.
So if you guys want it, I will send it to you.
Please,
because I definitely want to watch it. So
me too.
I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't really.
Making fun of it, so yeah. Come
I
on.
know, but like, I feel like that's like kicking a
shooting fish
dog.
in a barrel. Yeah.
Kicking a dog
they've
when it's
done
down.
like Night of the Living Dead. They've done Carnival of Souls.
I know, but those are like
those are
the
decent movies.
Those are decent movies, and
which they shouldn't be riffing on because they're good movies, but they did them anyways.
Yeah, they did it anyway for fun.
So I don't know. I think
it was awful.
Yeah, I mean, it was said that it was. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. So, okay. So this is a definitely has like a theme going here, and it's most of these are out of Moody's favorite genre, or he's maybe getting more into it. But the first one is Suddenly, which is the remake of the Frank Sinatra film Suddenly, which is public domain. And it was one of the films that Frank Sinatra pulled along with Manchurian Candidate because he believes that he was one of the reasons why Kennedy was assassinated.
Is that Ray Liotta?
Yeah. And it's Yui Boll.
Oh, good.
Yui Boll, nice.
Yeah, and this is a kind of a very pointless remake, but it's public domain, so why not? But it's one of his better movies. I love him as a so I think he's awesome. But
awesome.
And then we get into
what's the genre?
Now we're getting into it. So now we got War of the Dead.
Nice. So you're saying zombies?
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm trying to be a little bit more nice about my zombie stuff, and watch more stuff. It's just too many slow zombies I laugh at. If they're fast zombies, I might be more into them.
Okay. So this one wasn't bad.
About
And then we
hopping
have
zombies.
Hopping zo Have they made that in China yet?
Only hopping vampires.
Mm. Hopping
demons.
zombies, that could be
The
cool. Like,
the
arr,
two demon
arr,
movies they
arr.
hop because they go on trampolines
Hmm.
Oh,
and they hop. And then we have Anger of the Dead.
They're so
nice.
angry.
I think I bought that. Like, see, I'll
This was
buy
Dollar
zombie
Tree.
movies. I just probably haven't watched them yet.
This is also Yui Ball.
The dead hate the living.
They do.
And they eat
And
the
then we
living thing.
have I've seen it pronounced a few different ways, but it's like it's
Oh,
Osama
zombie.
with zombie.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
that.
it could be O zombie. I because I looked it up. Some people called it Oz zombie. Some people called it O zombie.
Oh, zombie.
Yeah. So this one was fun.
Yeah,
This one I enjoyed. Here's
ridiculous.
another one that's Yui Roll, which is Eaters, which
He
I
did a
thought
lot
was
of
pretty
zombie
good.
movies, huh?
Yeah, he either produced them or directed them. A lot of these he produced. And then he did also he produced Zombie Massacre.
Nice.
That were you
And
massacring zombies?
they do. And then probably the most disappointing one that I watched, Zombie Massacre 2, Reich of the Dead, which doesn't even have the title in the movie. I don't know if they somehow fucked up, but there is no title.
Oh.
I'm sorry, no, there's no title in the menu. I take that back. There's just like a building, but there's no title in the menu, which was really weird. But this was really disappointing, really boring. Even though it's done by the same guys who did this one. This one I have not seen yet. Juan of the Dead.
One of the Dead.
Which let me see if it's not in here. Let me quickly take a look. There's a reason why. Here it is. So I wanted to get all of these. So it's the Countdown to Doomsday, and you get Iron Sky, Eaters, One of the Dead, that Zombie, and then War of the Dead. So
Iron Sky was pretty cool.
Iron Sky I've heard good things about.
Yeah,
that's
that
coming up.
Good.
And then we have Iron Sky.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's a good one.
But wait, you got a pack with Iron Sky?
No, I bought them all separately on eBay.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted everything off that card, and then if it had a sequel, I bought the sequel to it, which then leads me up to Iron Sky: The Coming Race.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Which has Udo Kier as Hitler.
Nice. As it should.
Writing on the back
out of all the
dinosaur.
people, out of all like the German, actors we got out there right now.
That's brilliant. Hitler and Dracula, I mean, are his best two roles.
Right.
So
you should combine them and make Hitler Dracula.
Hitler.
Hitler.
There you go.
Hitler.
Hitler. Yeah, he plays like a dual role. He's like a good guy.
Has anybody done a movie where Hitler was a vampire? No. Come on. We make this movie.
Paul comes up with all these ideas, but doesn't do anything with them.
What am I supposed to do?
I don't write them.
Write them.
Don't make us all do all the work. You tell
You're the writers.
Well, you're also a writer, so get to write.
I'm not like that. I got a job.
I've got a million other scripts to write, man. I don't got time for this shit.
And that's it. That's every single one of mine.
Hitler vampire, man. Come on.
Hitler vampire. That sounds wonderful.
I think that'd be great. World War II. They find Dracula's like a coffin or something, and he bites Hitler.
Explains a few things, perhaps.
Yeah, and then Hitler goes around biting all the men.
And all the Nazis.
Yeah, all the
and
Nazis.
Then it becomes Nazi vampires.
Yeah. Yes. And you have the American troops that go in with like the French and stuff like that, and they have to.
Van Helsing could be Jewish. I mean, that would be great.
Sure, why not? Van Helsing Stein.
Right.
Van Helsing Goldberg. Van Helsingberg.
Van Helsingberg.
Right.
That sounds like a title in itself. And like that could be the spin-off in Helsingberg.
And he can
I
make
would
him,
be okay with that, but it's just,
but you got to make him
and it's
the
also
like the
money,
Jewish.
man. You need to make, it needs to
Exactly.
cost some money.
I
Moolah.
know.
Well, you got to make him like the kick-assing Jewish Van Helsing, but you got to kind of do like the old Mel Brooks, his like old Jewish man. So he's, oh, hey, we got to use the steak on Dracula. And he's got to have the
Mhm.
glasses with the beard, with like
That's
the
from like
scarf.
Dracula's Dead and Loving It, right?
It probably is because that's still Mel Brooks. Yeah, Mel Brooks with Carl Reiner had a show on radio, and one of the skits that he would do was the old Jewish man.
Nice. All right, I guess it's me.
Yep.
All right. So my last group of 10. First one, we start off with a Shudder movie, One Cut of the Dead. So I don't know if you know about that one. It's another zombie comedy. A zombie.
Zombie.
Yep. Don't watch any trailers. Don't do anything with it. If there's, it is not what it appears to be.
Oh.
So if you watch it, don't watch anything of the movie before you watch the film. I did by mistake.
So don't watch anything? I don't get it.
No, don't watch the trailer.
Don't watch the trailer. Don't watch anything about the movie at all.
Or don't read anything about it.
Just watch the movie.
So no spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did the mistake of, I'll watch something on the making of the movie, and it ruined the whole movie.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's fair enough. So next we have something from Shaw Brothers, because I love my Shaw Brothers movies. And this is another wackadoodle movie, Thunderbolt Fist.
Nice.
And it's actually an official Shaw Brothers release. I can't wait to see that. Should be a lot of fun. Next one is one that I found over in come on, brain. What is that place we go to that has all the used movies?
Oh, Second and Charles.
Yeah. Found this at Second and Charles, and it is The Zombie Diaries.
That's a good one.
I think I've seen that there before, and I just haven't picked it up yet.
It's found footage, but it's good. The sequel is good too.
It's got all my least favorite things in the world already. Zombies and found footage. I mean,
there's a zombie found footage where it's only in one spot. You would love that. A bottle film.
I wonder if it. Oh my god! Well, the British thing, I don't mind. Paul hates that. Paul's not a big fan of the British like indie horror films that come out these days.
There are some good ones. There are some bad ones too.
The Dinosaur Hotel people.
Oh god, that was bad.
Oh my god, I watched both of those because Joe Lujan has them, and so I picked up both of them. The second one is better than the first one because I guess maybe had a little bit more of a budget. But those are. But when I watched it, I figured because Joe told me it's a package that the producer bought a package of like 3D dinosaurs, and then went to ITN and said, "Can you make a movie using these dinosaurs?" So I have a little bit of compassion for those films, if I could say it that way, because the director had to use a dinosaur that walked around a corner. That's all the dinosaur did. So he had to write a scene with that in it, or a dinosaur is hopping, whatever it might be. So it's like
dinosaur.
They're bad. They're both bad movies, but I give the guy credit for making them work with what he had.
The answer is going to be yes. Even if they said, "Hey, I got a bunch of old, dead, burned up puppets. Can you make a movie with this?" The answer is going to be yes.
Yes, because that would be Old Burnt Up Puppets Massacre.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I mean, because those guys in England, and I follow Scott Jeffries, who produces a lot of those things and everything. He, I don't think he produces the ones we've watched, John, that we've reviewed, like the one that's going to be on First Time Watch Friday, that you were just like, oh my God, Bite Night, and everything.
Oh God, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I totally forgot about it too recently. I was like, because I was going to ask you to come on the show because you hadn't been on, and then I'll go, wait, he was on the show, wasn't he?
We should do a separate show just for the British indie stuff and call it Tea, Crumpets, and Crap.
But so Scott Jeffries does a lot of these movies, and he just keeps producing crap. He just keeps putting stuff out, and it's, I mean, it's great that he's able to do that, and he's able to make money, and he's able to keep doing it. That's the dream. But generally speaking, you want your stuff to be a little bit better than like he made a Humpty Dumpty movie, but just had it be a doll. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's
I've got that
boring.
one.
I
but
would
that
rather
film
have it be
made
a big Humpty Dumpty, like, person in a
Balloon.
Humpty Dumpty outfit going around killing everybody, because that would be fucking fun. If it's a
Just
doll,
like
it's
the
kind of
fairy
boring.
tale, right?
Right. Yeah.
but it's for like ITN and stuff, that's like the guy who did Winnie the Pooh. Now he's doing Winnie the Pooh too, but he also uses all the same people. So all
It's the
those
same guy.
films,
Scott Jeffries produced that one too.
yeah. So like his stuff, because I took some pictures of it, because it's that's what he does. So I was gonna say it matters where you're aiming at in your career, because he's also done, here it is, like Jack and Jill 2.
Mhm.
That's like, I think, by the same guy.
Mhm.
Leprechaun's Game, Leprechaun's Curse.
Yeah, I'm waiting
So
for Little Bo Creep to come out instead of Little Bo
Dude,
Peep.
you're gonna give them ideas. Shh. No. They've already got enough of these stupid fairy tales and other nursery rhymes and other shit that they do. So Jack and Jill, yeah, they did those. It was Scott Jeffries and Rebecca Matthews, and I tried to interview Scott because I wanted to get some information about his films, and he's just too busy. Like, he's literally on set every week,
Hey, believe me, I was this close to writing little Pippi Bloodstockings. I want to do that one so badly.
Pippi
you
Bloods.
should do it.
Can you?
Bloodstockings.
I guess you can, because
Sure.
is that in public domain though?
Pippi Longstockings is, not Pippi Bloodstockings.
Okay. Yep,
Anyway,
there you go. Keep
so
going.
next one is one I'm pretty sure you guys have both already shown, and it is Freak Show of Cinema.
Yes,
Freak Show
12
Cinema.
showed
Yeah,
that.
John did on the last one, I believe.
So Tales of the Dead, crime, stories of curses, horror and gore, zombie genocide. Yeah, there's 12 of them. I'm not going to read them all off. You've done that before. Next is actually a good movie that I had seen a long time ago and never gotten, and it's an old film noir with Alan Ladd and Veronica Lake. This Gun for Hire.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That was
It's a really
good.
good one.
Is that film noir you said?
Yep.
Nice. I like film
Veronica
noir.
Lake was just
Oh,
amazing.
God, yes. Amazing. Next, we have a few more collections. This one is called the Urban Revenge Collection. There's Morgan Freeman
Urban
on the front.
Revenge.
15 movies, including Black Godfather,
Oh,
Black Hooker, Velvet Smooth, TNT Jackson, Super Soul Brother, Jive Turkey,
Jive Turkey.
Candy Tangerine Man,
Oh boy.
Brotherhood of Death, which I've seen, which is amazingly bad, Children of the Night, Death of a Prophet, Mr. Mean, Stigma, Black Jesus, and Black Force 1 and Black Force 2.
I might have to buy that. That just sounds amazing. And
There's
I
a
love
lot
that
of
Morgan
Van Peebles
Freeman's.
in here.
I mean, Morgan Freeman just being on the cover, he must be so proud. Probably displayed. It's like propped up, in his bookcase. He's like,
He goes to a Big Lots or whatever and sees that and is like, God damn it.
He's in Death of a Prophet, 1981, so before he was who he was,
Yeah, it's funny. My friend Morgan is named Morgan Freeman, and I asked her if she was named after him, and he wasn't really famous when she was born, as famous. She was actually named after Morgan Fairchild, but it was really funny that whenever I say, "Oh, Morgan Freeman is calling me," kind of fun
So
to
the
say.
next collection is from our buddies Echo Bridge. They're always putting out junk. This time they raided a bunch of old, forgotten, I don't even say classic, just forgotten old movies that are public domain, and shoved them all together in one disc. And it is just 4 feature films. And it includes The Girl in Room 20, Son of Ingagi, The Girl from Chicago, and Lying Lips. And these are all between 1939 and 1946.
So what are they? Like, are those horror or?
that Ingagi
Possibly.
one, I think is
Thriller, I think, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, they're just crappy public domain stuff that you can put out.
Yeah, they
cheaply.
might be, like the Poverty Row. stuff, so that they're just stuck them all together because they're just really low budget horror or film noir
Mhm.
or crime stuff.
And speaking of a wacky, old, forgotten movie that's actually a lot of fun, and I can't wait to spring this on you guys. It's kind of a ruining a surprise because I was going to bring this up at some point. Um, this was with Bela Lugosi and Arthur Lucan. Mother Riley Meets the Vampire.
Oh, geez.
It is
Nice.
so wackadoodle,
But that's
and
gonna be for like an indie film cafe episode or
oh,
something.
absolutely,
Man,
absolutely.
Lugosi doesn't even get his name first.
No, no, Arthur Lucan does because back in the day he was famous for, doing this whole gender swapping dress up thing that he would
So
do.
as he plays Mother Riley?
He plays Mother Riley. Oh
Oh
yeah.
So he's the
boy.
Tyler Perry of his day.
Yes. It's bad. It's funny.
You know what?
Next,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised nobody gets on Tyler Perry about playing Medea and everything. When women are like, why? Women should be like, hey, why is a man playing a woman?
because
Like
that's the
women should
joke.
be playing the. I get it. It's just the PC
These
crap
days, yeah,
happening
these days
days. I'm
it's
just
not
surprised
supposed to be a
nobody's
joke.
yelled and said we should cancel Tyler Perry for playing Medea ever again.
She just
You know.
canceled Tyler Perry
I
because he's terrible.
yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I agree with you, Jonathan, because the two complaints of Oppenheimer, one, there's no Japanese people in it. The film is about making the bomb to drop on them.
Right.
So do you want to see them getting incinerated?
No.
Okay. And then the second one is that a woman doesn't speak in the film for 20 minutes. Do you realize what time period this was made?
Right.
Women were seen, not heard.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's like, so I agree with you. I'm surprised nobody's gotten on Medea.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure that's coming at some point, just because we're getting to the point where we're just like, oh, who haven't we canceled yet? Let's go and cancel that
We'll all
person.
end at some point.
I'm not
Yeah.
famous enough to be canceled yet.
Maybe canceling will get canceled.
I doubt it.
I think it will be.
Anyway, the last two are TV show series. So this is one that I remember seeing a couple of episodes and then it just kind of vanished. I don't know if you guys remember Tour of Duty.
Yes.
I've
This
heard
is
of it.
season one, and it's got some interesting folks in there. And so, yeah, so I saw it out there. It was cheap. It was like $1, so I grabbed it. I don't know if
Hmm.
there were other seasons of it out there, but I figure I'd grab it.
Yeah, if you like it, then maybe you can find other seasons. I
Yeah.
know I watched this guy on YouTube, Cinema Sickness, and he's very much like he'll have to buy every season of something before he'll watch all of it, or whatever. Like he'll start just binge watching the whole series of something, or whatever. And I can't necessarily do that all the time. I am doing that with
Yeah.
Daredevil right now in the Daredevil universe, just because I'm having fun with that. So
You just
I
gotta buy
like
it
the
all
Netflix
together.
one. What?
You just got to buy it all together. That's what
Yeah. If you can.
like you had mentioned, Jonathan, that you got like Night Gallery season one. But if you go on, I think it's Oldies or Hamilton Book, you can get the entire season for the entire show for like $20.
Yeah.
From Kino?
No, I don't think
I
it's
want
Kino.
the Kino Lorber versions, so
No.
I'll spend the extra money to get because they'll come with extras and cool
Well,
shit.
these might too, but yeah, I mean, I got like the Mission Impossible series, the original series. I think I paid like $40 for it, but it's all 7 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the last one is one I've already talked with Moody about because it's a show that I absolutely hated, and I'm sure you guys love it, the original series. But the spinoff I started watching and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty damn cute and funny. And it is Young Sheldon.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that you liked and I know John likes Big Bang Theory.
I'm a
It was
huge Big
cute.
Bang
I
Theory
can't
fan.
stand
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, but I love it, and so I do like Young Sheldon. I just haven't really. I need to really sit down and watch it again.
3 episodes I
It
watched or so.
reminds me
And
a
I was
little bit
like,
of Malcolm in the
this
Middle.
is really cute.
Yeah. So
I
I
like
like
better
that.
than Malcolm in the Middle.
Do you
My
like it
big
better?
problem with the Big Bang Theory is they complain how they can't get women, but all the women they get are hot. Even Sheldon gets hot girlfriends. So it's like, what are you guys complaining
Uh,
about? That's all you get are good-looking women. There hasn't been one bad-looking woman on this entire show. What are you
uh,
bitching about? You guys aren't even that good-looking, but you get all the hotties.
Mayan Balick, I don't know about hot.
She would be. I mean, she's incredibly smart, so that I find to be sexy. You know, even in real life, she's
Oh
incredible.
yeah, no,
She's a
she's
genius.
brilliant. And that's what
But
I think that's the main reason they picked her was because she
well,
actually is really brilliant.
there was the joke about her character on TV in one of the early episodes. They made a comment about her character. I forget what show she was on. Blossom.
Yeah.
I
Blossom,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, they made a comment about her character on Blossom. They said like they were trying to figure something out, and he goes, "Why don't we just get the actors who played Blossom to figure it out?"
I mean,
And
she's
then she ended up
smart.
being on
I
the show.
wouldn't call her brilliant. She's okay in her lane, but she has other like I think she's like anti-vax and has some other weird shit that she believes in. So I'm not entirely impressed with her.
Oh, all right. So we are doing something
On that
cool,
note.
and on that note,
Moving right
sorry.
along
Moving right along.
before our show gets canceled.
No, I mean, you know, that's our choice of whatever we believe. But we are doing a also a haul for the Criterion because Criterion did their
Oh, it's not a
July
separate video?
Barnes and Noble sale, and some of them I did get on there, but I also got from like eBay or other places. So because my Barnes and Noble store was pretty lackluster, and Paul was there, he saw like it was okay,
I got a
but
couple things.
yeah, he picked up a couple things there. But for me, it was kind of like, not as much as I wanted.
That's
So
because
I'm
you
gonna.
already bought
Oh,
50,000 of them.
this isn't a separate video. We're doing it all
Oh no,
right
we're
now.
gonna do it on this one. We
God,
might
this
as
thing's
well.
gonna be like 3 hours long.
2 hours.
I don't
Maybe.
got edited, so it's okay by me.
I don't have to edit it at all. I have
Oh,
to just
that's
put the beginning and the
would
end,
be
and then
twice the reviews if it was two, twice.
all right.
But up to you. It's not my thing.
Yep. So
Good thing I got everything right here.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
where's your monkey?
Monkeys at the studio,
Oh,
which is where you told me to bring him.
he told you to leave him, yeah. But you know, I do think it's nice when you bring him on the show and stuff when we
Insisted
do
I bring
Zoom.
the monkey, so I brought him.
Okay. I just don't want you to keep leaving him here at your house, and then we need him at the studio to do
He's
the.
comfy here.
You know, I know, but he's also comfy at the studio. Whatever. Anyway.
So So I know that we've kind of briefly discussed this. Why don't we go small amount Moody, small amount Moody?
Okay. Sounds
so
good to me.
Start it with. I don't know. Maybe start it with me because Paul went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
still
you
pulling
have how
stickers
many?
off the
Finished?
How many do you have? You said 5.
I have 5.
Okay. So do 3.
Well,
Then
no,
me.
I would do
No.
my 5,
Yeah, 5.
and
then
then it would
Moody
be
do half of yours.
you
then
doing
me.
half, and then he doing his, and then you do your half.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I
As
wasn't
usual,
prepared. I
Moody's
thought
got the biggest haul.
I do.
sometimes it's not all about size; it's what you do with it.
Well, it's
It's
about what you
fascinating.
have that counts.
So, and what I have counts. So, because so my first one here is Paul's favorite movie of all time, and it is The Graduate,
Oh God.
which is my favorite movie of all time.
Oh,
And-
so you just picked it up for the first time on that
I
haul?
don't
Okay.
hate it. I just think it's overrated.
And we are going to be doing it for Criterion Watch. I'll announce that. We're going to be doing it for Criterion Watch with me and John, minus Paul, because Paul doesn't want to come on and talk about why he hates it. You know?
No, I just don't have to watch it again.
I can watch this I watch it probably once a year, and I've
Yeah.
gone through all the different formats. So I have VHS, then I had the DVD, and now I got the Criterion Blu-ray of it. So, and it's got a fair amount of special features on it. So it's got a booklet and everything. Yeah, I think it's Buck Henry, Mike Nichols. You can't go wrong there.
Mrs. Robinson, are you hitting on me? No.
Seducing.
Sorry.
And she doesn't say
Seducing.
no. She doesn't say no. She
No,
just
she's like,
laughs. Yeah. My
It's a
second
quirky
one here-
movie. I'm surprised you don't like it. It's quirky.
and it's different from the
Alright.
novel. The novel is basically Benjamin should have been played by Robert Redford. 6 foot tall, blonde, blue-eyed wasp. And they got
Right.
the exact opposite. So
yeah, they got
But my-
Tootsie.
yes. It's also it has Mr. Hooper from or Mr. Roper from Three's Company is in it.
Right.
And
Also, Kit is in it. You know,
who?
the voice of Kit the car from Knight
Oh
Rider,
yes,
William
yeah. He
Daniels,
oh my god, I
Mr.
love William
Feeney,
Daniels. He is great in this.
Mr.
So
Feeney.
and it's Richard Dreyfuss's. I believe it's his first film. He
Yeah.
has one. He
Well,
has
it's a
one line
small
in it.
part, but yeah,
Yeah,
like he's got
I
like one
do like
line.
I do like the ending. That's a pretty iconic ending.
Yeah,
pissed
everybody
off a
knows that one.
lot of people. And
Yeah.
it's used at the very beginning of 500 Days of Summer, where they say that the lead has a complete misunderstanding of the graduate, which
Yeah.
he does. So
I love by the way, I real quick I was driving by church one day and I saw a woman running out on her, husband or whatever, but unfortunately she wasn't running with somebody else, but I was like such a weird like thing to see in real life as people actually like leaving their wedding like in a huff, or whatever. Anyway,
It'd be funny if they were on rollerblades.
yeah.
with
All
with
right.
with an with like a
If
crocodile or alligator
yeah, if
behind them.
Donald G. Jackson had shot that, they'd all have been on rollerblades.
Yes. My second one is the greatest horror movie ever made and the greatest zombie movie ever made, and that is Night of the Living Dead.
Ah,
Night of the Living Dead classic. I have that.
Yep. And
I
without
need a
Richard,
4K eventually.
yeah, this see, I don't. I've been on the quest to find the worst possible copy of this because it should be viewed as more of a documentary. This is way too crystal clear, where you can see all the makeup lines, and when like the hand gets crushed in the door and falls on the ground, you can actually see the line where they stuck it together. It's too clear. I love having this, but it's too clear. It
Yeah.
needs to
yeah.
look like shit. Like you need to find a copy that was sold at a gas station, that type of thing. It should be
They're
like
out
almost
there. There's so many because it's public domain.
Yeah.
yeah. This is not public domain, but if you don't use anything from this one, yeah, then you could still play it in a movie or something. But yeah,
Yeah,
this is
But we finally
copyrighted.
cobbled together our distribution company. We got to put out a version.
I don't know because right now, like Criterion owns the rights, so they.
No, they own the rights to this version.
Right. They don't
Okay.
own the original.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why you need to find the crappiest copy available.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the next one is I'd like to get more Criterion of this director because he's in my top 5, but I only have 2 so far because I keep finding them on DVD. But that's David Cronenberg. So Scanners.
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 Yeah.
I just
Classic.
watched that recently.
Now here's one where this would look great in 4K, especially with the head exploding.
That was iconic scene. Yeah.
Yeah. And
The
then
rest of it, I mean, it's not honestly, it's a pretty B movie, kind of thing, like B storyline in my opinion. Like it's
The
but it's
evil
fun.
scanner versus the good scanner.
Yeah, but it's fun. And then it's got that scene where he's like, I am your brother. And I'm like, oh, this was like right after Empire Strikes Back. I wonder if that was a reference to that, I'm your father, but anyway, it's a good movie.
maybe. I mean, its Empire was what, 80? This is 81.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It might have been. They might have done that as a let's make a twist.
Or Lucas saw this first.
I mean, it kind of came out of left field. I saw it in the theater. And yeah, especially with the head exploding. That wasn't something you generally saw on a regular movie theater.
No, my mom took me to see that, and I don't think she was expecting it. So and then I had to get this because I was going to do Delete at the time, and I wanted it to be very Cronenberg-esque until I found out that fucking Netflix thing, and that was Videodrome.
So yeah, I'm dying to get that.
I own
love
that
Videodrome.
too.
I think it's one of his best movies.
I was watching it and then I got distracted by stuff that I had to do, and then so I never got to finish it. But I do want
seen
to
it
sit
in years.
down. It should be on Criterion Watch at some point for sure.
Existenz I really like too, which is kind of a rift on this. So, and then my last one is
your
just
favorite.
Just like my Black Emmanuel series. I am so happy that I have this. I mean, I have slept with this for 2 nights in a row. and that is the Melvin Van Peebles Essential Films Collection.
Nice.
I love Mario and I love Melvin. I think Melvin is one of the greatest directors
Oh yeah,
ever.
Melvin's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and especially with like Sweetback's badass song. And then he played the Scatman Scruthers role in The Shining. And it is just, I mean, it is great. And
Look, he still has his plastic on it.
it actually came with this plastic, which was already like this. So I guess the original person left it on too. But it had the little slit in it, so I didn't even have to take it off. But it comes with a booklet,
Nice.
which is cool. So it's got this whole thing on him, which is nice. And then we have Don't Play Us Cheap.
Mhm.
A lot of these I've never seen, but it's looks like that. And then we have, now this is the golden one, because I didn't even know this had 2 movies in it. So this is Sweetback's badass song,
Right.
and I own the soundtrack, and I freaking love this
Classic.
movie. His son Mario then did Badass, where he plays his dad.
Oh,
Yep.
so it actually
Yep.
has it on the disc.
So it comes with both
That's
movies.
awesome.
That's great.
That's
Yeah.
sweet. Like, that's a sweet thing for Criterion to do.
Best thing Mario ever did.
Yeah, and it's I didn't realize it, because I always wondered, like, why isn't if Mario's playing his dad, like, why isn't Melvin playing the granddad? And that was Ozzie Davis. And then I did research on Ozzie Davis to find out that he was one of the big black actors that got a lot of respect.
He was huge. He was great at it.
Yeah, and that's why he's the dad in this. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Sure, he was a trailblazer. So, and then from there is Watermelon Man, which I have seen.
Yeah,
I've heard of that.
Yeah, which is
there's also Watermelon Woman, I think, if I'm correct. There's also another movie called that, but that's
I don't think that has anything to do with him. But this is, he's black and then he's white. So it's the whole thing of the white, like the white experience. And that's the one where like Eddie Murphy and some of the other guys, where it's like a black guy playing a white guy in movies in the last 20 years, got it from this movie, from Watermelon Man. And then the last one on here is the story of a 3-day pass.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of these are available unless you get them in the Criterion pack.
Nice.
So yeah, and I found it, at a good price too. And the person kept excellent condition. I only buy movies off of eBay if they show the actual picture of the product. I will not accept just a Google picture and it's just the cover. Right. Like, no, because then you get like library copies and shit. And I looked at this one and she showed all the discs and the box and everything. I'm like, my God, this looks great. And I think it was, like $30 or something. I'm like, oh, I'm buying it. Because on Criterion, it's like $200 or something. So even with 50% off, it's really expensive.
Yep.
So that's all my stuff. And I'm very happy with my collection. So I just don't buy any old Criterion. It has to be particular things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my first half, which is my first 7, then I'll do my last 8. But here is the first few are ones that we've done for Criterion Watch that I wanted to have that I didn't have that Paul probably already had. One is Watership Down.
Great,
that's movie. A good one.
Yeah, very sad, but very, very good movie. Next
it's political.
Yeah.
It's very political.
And the voice of John Hurt, one of my absolute favorite directors or actors of all time.
And the music at the end, and everything, just that song, that they have, like, it's just so sweet. Like, I love the movie.
And Kira, I love Kira.
Yeah. And then next is Breaker Morant.
Oh,
another good one.
Fabulous movie. In my top 10 movies of all time.
Yeah, you love that, and Gallipoli and
Gallipoli is a good one.
A lot of great movies came out of Australia.
Walkabout is coming out on 4K. And
Picnic in Hanging Rock.
Very soon. Picnic in Hanging Rock, which we just talked about earlier. Lady Snowblood.
Yay!
Great I just watched it recently.
You would love it.
Because I hadn't seen that yet. That I wasn't there for that episode. But I just fucking absolutely loved that movie.
Great.
Like it
And
was just
seeing it in Blu-ray where all the colors pop. Oh my God.
and I watched it on my 4K television, and like that just enhanced it even
Mm.
more. And it just it's so beautiful. Like just the her umbrella, sword thingy and all this other shit that was going on. It
Well,
was so
we
good.
only covered the first one, so maybe you can come back for the second one.
Yeah, that'll be fun. You, me, and Joe can do
Yeah.
the second one because Joe Turk enjoyed the first one, it seems. So
Yeah, find it, John Ward. You'll love it. Trust me.
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, you guys
Especially
speak
like
highly of
Kill
it.
Bill.
It's very Kill Bill because it pretty much inspired Kill Bill, and then they even use the song that at the end of Kill Bill, where
Mhm.
Uma Thurman's fighting Lucy Liu at the end or whatever of the first part or whatever, has that big battle. That song is actually from Lady Snowblood, and is the woman who played Lady Snowblood singing that song. And it's just like you could tell there's a lot of inspiration for it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Um, so next is Ghost World,
Another good one.
Yay.
which I seen years ago. I used to own it.
Love
I
that
think I
movie.
still own it on DVD. It's in my pile and piles of movies at the studio. But I wanted to have it on Blu-ray anyway, and I do love it. And Steve
Great
Buscemi
film.
is freaking amazing. Scarlett Johansson and everybody just great movie.
Laura Birch. Ugh.
I need to rewatch it just because it's been since I remember, but I do remember like it being like this weird little. I even remember having the graphic novel. I bought the graphic novel at my comic book store because
Nice.
I was interested in it. All right, so next is uh, was it the was it
Couldn't see it.
Here Comes Mr. Jordan.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's
You
Know
classic.
can
of
barely
it.
see
Yeah.
it on the thing. Here Comes Mr. Jordan, which is what would you say, John?
Oh, I said I know of it.
Yeah. So later it got
Classic.
remade as Heaven Can Wait and whatnot, but this
Oh,
is the
Warren
first
Beatty.
version.
Mhm.
Well, there was another one too. There was one earlier than that too. But yeah, the Warren Beatty one has Buck Henry in it. So,
And Diane
Yeah, I think
Kennedy.
he plays the guy up in heaven,
yeah.
if I remember correctly, who
I don't
like
think he
sends him
plays
back
Mr.
down.
Jordan, but I think he plays the guy who makes the mistake, or whatever.
Yeah, something
So
like that. Yeah,
that would make sense.
love Buck Henry.
A little oopsie in heaven.
Yeah. It
That's
seemed like there
that's
was a
the
lot of
remake of
oopsies.
today. A little oopsie in heaven.
Because that was a bit of what was going on through the whole thing. So I love that. I thought that was cute. And it's going to be on Criterion Watch eventually.
Yay.
Another one that's going to be the next year are also going to be on Criterion Watch at some point. But we've got seasons upon seasons to do. So next is Paris, Texas,
Oh yeah.
That's a
which
good one.
I really liked it, but I think honestly it was too long, and not like because it was bad. It's just like the dialogue just kept going at times, and I was like, get
Yeah,
to
if
the
you're a
point.
Harry Dean Stanton fan, you need to watch this.
Yeah, and Harry Dean Stanton does an amazing job.
It's from
It-
the writer of Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part Two,
Hmm.
L. Kit Carson.
yeah. So last but not least of this half is a movie that I wasn't sure what I was gonna think, but I heard good things, so I want to check it out. It's Chilly Scenes of Winter. And honestly, this movie blew me away. Like it is so good. John Hurd, who you don't usually hear doing like kind of more dramatic roles. It's not dramatic, it's comedic, but it's got a lot of drama in it, and stuff, and it's really good. It's
Never saw it.
definitely something. I think you would like it, Paul. Honestly.
All right, I'll
Um,
check it out.
yep. And we're doing that. I think we're gonna do that. That'll be the first episode of next season for Criterion Watch because it'll be in the winter. So it's chilly season of winter, kind of thing.
Makes sense.
Ooh.
All right. So I guess Paul.
All right, I got 8 of them. Some you'll recognize from our little adventure up in Williamsburg, some you won't. First one is one that I saw years ago and didn't even realize that there was a Criterion version of it. And it's, of course, Samuel L. Jackson, whom I always love. And it's Eve's Bayou.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Kind of a weird, creepy movie, but interesting, very dramatic. And yeah, I
Yeah,
love some
I mean,
Samuel L.
Criterion
Jackson.
puts movies out that I'm like, okay, but I don't know if that's necessarily a Criterion or whatever,
Yeah,
but
I hear you. That's why I was surprised.
that's what you said for a bunch of things, like Coolie High and a few other movies that you're like, they're good, but are they Criterion level good? And I think Criterion, I mean, because they're over thousands of
We're
movies,
stretching out a
they're
little bit
starting to
more.
like, okay, we gotta, we can only get what we can get, and stuff.
Right.
So
And some movies that should be Criterion are owned by other people, and so they're
yeah,
not,
and they won't let them.
yeah, it's a shame. Next is, of course, Earl Morris, and it's the movie that really made Earl Morris, and it's my favorite Earl Morris movie, and it is Gates of Heaven, which we
Nice.
are
That's a good one.
going to do on Docs That Rock when we get back to that.
We have a lot of there's a lot of documentaries that are really good, like Hoop Dreams and the thin red line and things, or no, thin blue line.
Then Blue
Yeah.
Line, that's the film that he got sued for.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he made the movie to prove that the guy didn't kill the cop, and then when he got out of jail, a lawyer went up to the guy and said, "Did you ever give the okay for that documentary to be made?" And the guy's like, "No." "Oh, you should sue him." And
Yeah.
so the guy sued Errol Morris for getting him out of jail.
But this one, I believe he won an Academy Award for this one. And this version comes with Werner Herzog Eats His Shoe, which is the bet that he made with Klaus Kinski. And it should be a lot of fun. So we'll do that on our short film Saturday, because who doesn't want to see Werner Herzog eat his shoe? I mean, come on.
I want to see it.
Love Werner Herzog.
Next up is one that blew me away in the theater, and I've been waiting to get my hands on this one, and probably my favorite David Lynch movie, Lost Highway.
Yes.
Great.
That's
film.
actually on 4K too.
Yeah, I know.
I think you just got the Blu-ray, right? Or did you get the 4K?
Yep. No, I didn't get the 4K. Next is another movie I saw in the theater and loved it, and because it is just dark, depressing, and gritty. And Michael Radford's 1984.
1984. I've heard of it.
Yep, with John Hurt, again, one of my favorite directors, and Richard Burton in like one of his very final roles. And he does such a good job, such an understated role in this. And just really, really, really good.
I have downloaded, but I haven't watched it yet. 1984 with Peter Cushing.
Nice.
He plays the lead in it.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, like
that.
right before he did Hammer, or right before that type of stuff. I think it was made for television, but it looks pretty good.
Okay. Must have been made for British TV then.
Yeah.
Next up, we have one of my favorite Akira Kurosawa movies, High and Low.
High and Low.
No,
This is one of his non-samurai movies. It's more of his film noir sort of films, and it's really, really very good.
Nice.
And speaking of samurai, people think about Kurosawa as one of the great or the greatest Japanese directors. That doesn't mean that there aren't other really good directors out there. And Hideo Gosha is one of the really, really great directors too. 3 Outlaw Samurai.
Oh, I was thinking of Lust Samurai. There's a movie called Lust Samurai.
Don't know that one, but this has got some great stuff in it. So it's very against type. In fact, it's a very anti Kurosawa samurai kind of film. So it's very, if you're really into Kurosawa, you might find this interesting because it's so opposite. Then we have one of the movies that is like that one of the touchstone great movies of its time for sort of introducing chopsakis and samurai movies and stuff from the East, basically. And it's Touch of Zen by King Hu. It's one of the great films of its day, and
Which one is that?
Touch of Zen. If you liked, oh god, what was the big movie where they're flying around all over the place? I might, huh?
Like Hidden Tiger, Crouching.
Yeah, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Crouching Dragon.
That's
Yeah.
this type of film. This is the one that inspired it, basically.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's that whole type of film where they're doing crazy shit, and it's just sort of accepted, And then finally, another really, really good Japanese director, Kiichi Okamoto's Sword of Doom.
Nice.
Yeah, so this should be a
Oh,
lot of fun.
You got a
Where
lot of
I,
like Japanese movies.
yeah, I'm finally getting to some of the really, really good stuff that I've always wanted. When I was in grad school the first time, and I was there for literature, and I found I didn't really like the literature ones. I went to the screenwriting one instead, and the person I had there did a lot of Japanese classic and great Japanese movies, and introduced me to a lot of that. So yeah, I was like, wow, I could finally get my hands on some of these movies that I saw. So yeah, so there you
Awesome.
go. That's my
sweet.
8.
Alrighty. So yeah, so I'm down to my last 8, and uh, speaking of the one from earlier, the Thin Red Line.
Mhm.
Not the Thin Blue Line, but the Thin Red Line. Done by our boy Terrence Malick, who we all love at this show.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know how Sean feels, but me and Paul love him.
I think he's very hit and miss. So I don't Tree of Life and stuff. I just thought was boring as hell. So yeah, he's very hit and miss.
Yeah. I like
Badlands.
all of his stuff. I even like Tree of Life. I think it's long, and some of it is sort of a little boring, but slow paced, but
For the rest of my life, I will never forget Sissy Spacek in Badlands. She was
yeah.
absolutely glorious.
I have to say I liked Wisdom better.
Oh, okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's a great film, but I would love to see an uncut version of Thin Red Line. Because
Really.
it's if you look at all the actors that are in it, like half of them aren't even in the film. He still kept them in the credits, but the film's like 4 hours long,
Yeah,
and then
there
they
is a
cut it
longer
down.
cut. It'd be very interesting to check that out. But
Well,
Yeah,
this
so
is yeah, this is 171 minutes.
yeah,
So
yeah,
watch the ending credits, and the credits like for the cast is like 5 minutes long because of all the actors that he cut out.
it would have
Because
been
there's a
nice if it had been like a two movies. He probably could have done 2 movies.
they could
these
have put
days,
out
yeah.
yeah, you could have put out a different version with like the you know, more of it or
It
whatever, but
it does feel a little stretched. That's my one thing, my one criticism about the film. It feels a little stretched.
I'll have to check it out at some point. I have not watched it yet. That's one of the ones I haven't checked out, but I wanted to buy all Terrence Malick's movies. Now I own every one that's in the Criterion collection. So there you go. In fact, I actually I kept debating whether or not I wanted to pick that up because I wasn't sure if I really was going to enjoy it or not.
You
But I
got
was
the
like, it's got a
Pocahontas movie
huge
too.
cast, and
It's a
you
good
know,
movie
why
overall. It's a
not?
good movie. Yeah.
Did you get the Pocahontas movie too?
Yep, I got New World, but that was filmed in Virginia. Like
Yep.
I actually went up for being an extra in that movie and did not get it because I don't look 18 or whatever the 1700s enough, yeah, I guess, or
Yeah.
whatever. And a lot of people are coming in with full-fledged beards and shit, and and I did not have one. So I think they really went for like the more rugged, people or whatever as extras. Um, so next is Friends of Eddie Coyle, which I really liked. Also inspired by Quentin Tarantino. The
Mhm.
movie Jackie Brown, the original Rum Punch movie that Elmer Leonard wrote, had the character named Jackie Burke. But in the movie, she's named Jackie Brown. That's
Mhm.
even the title of the film. And Jackie Brown was the name of a character in Friends of Eddie Coyle. So I think and a lot of people said that was his inspiration for that name was he loves that movie.
Funny how we're all pulling up some Quentin Tarantino movies that he loves.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. So this is the last of my Blu-rays. The rest will be 4Ks. But is Defending Your Life, Albert Brooks.
Love Defending. I told you you should see Mother.
I know, and I think if we do Defending Your Life for Criterion Watch, I'll bring you on, and I might. Paul's interested in rewatching it. I don't know if he's seen it in a while, and
That's
maybe
okay.
we'll have
I
a
The
I
yeah.
can
Muse is really good too. I don't think really he's made a bad movie. Even what
I
is
could
it?
I could
Finding
take
Comedy in
or
the Muslim
leave
World, I
Albert
thought was pretty
Brooks.
good.
What did you say, Paul?
I said I could take or leave Albert Brooks. He's
Oh, I love the guy.
he's okay.
All right. So next is a Terry Gilliam 4K that I had to pick up because I didn't have this on Blu-ray. I have two other movies on Blu-ray from him, and I don't have this one. But decided to pick up Adventures of
Yay!
Baron Munchausen.
That's a good
Yay!
one.
I remember watching it as a kid and
Fun.
absolutely loving it and thinking it's so silly.
Sarah Polly,
And
so
yeah,
sweet
and
in that movie.
Robin Williams is in that, I believe, too. So first time working with him before Fisher King, so it's kind of
Uma
cool.
Thurman, oh,
Yeah.
so nice,
Oh yeah.
So speaking of Kill Bill,
and her
you know.
clamshell.
All right. So next is a Billy Wilder film, and it's Double Indemnity.
Oh, classic,
That is a good one. Yeah.
great film, best film noir ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, so definitely. I was watching some of it. I got distracted. I had to go do some stuff, so I didn't get to finish it. But I watched some of it, and I was loving it. Like I love the
Yeah.
fast-paced dialogue. The writer of it was Raymond. It was co-written by Raymond
Raymond
Chandler, who did a
Chandler.
Yeah.
lot of, who wrote film noir type books, or whatever, or noir type books. So like, yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I have it on the Criterion DVD.
Awesome. So, and then I've also got the 4K of Malcolm X,
Mhm.
which I don't think I've ever seen. I own on regular
movie.
Blu-ray, but I've never seen it. And I know, like, I've seen a lot of Spike Lee joints, but I have not. That's just one, and I think it's because of the length. Like a lot of times, I was afraid to watch something that's like 3 hours long because I just, my
You don't like
attention
it when it's
span.
too long,
Yeah, my attention span, man. It kills me.
but it's
Um,
Denzel, baby.
yeah.
I Ernest Lee Thomas is in that, the guy from What's Happening.
Okay.
And he used to come into Blockbuster that I worked at when I was
Really?
assistant manager in Pasadena. Yeah. And we had many, 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 many conversations. And he would leave notes in the movies because that was during the VHS time saying, this sucks, don't rent it. This is great. Recommend this. And we talked about Malcolm X and how he was literally face to face with Denzel Washington. And I told him that because he didn't know if he was a good actor or not. And I told him, dude, Spike Lee thought you were great because you went up against Denzel Washington.
Right.
You were literally face to face with Denzel Washington. If you weren't a good actor, he wouldn't have done that.
Mhm.
And he really liked that. He thanked me for that.
Not only that, but Denzel Washington is one of those actors who, when he's on screen, he just demands your attention. He just sucks your eyes in. So if you're going to be opposite him in any kind of scene or any kind of way, you better be somebody who can hold their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was my point with him. And he was really thankful for that because he thought that he did a bad job. He's like, I don't know if I did a good job or not.
Yeah. That's the thing you got to understand. Like directors, a lot of directors, especially somebody like Spike Lee, is very picky. So if they cast you in the film, that means you're a fucking good actor. There's a show I watched, LA Complex, right? And this guy was like talking about how he was an actor. He was talking about how to this acting coach guy, right? He was talking about how he didn't feel like he was a good actor. He goes, "You're in the show, right? They cast you. They put you on the bill. Your head on the bill, like, right? Then that must mean you're a good actor." Right? Just stop overthinking it, And so maybe that's the thing. Like a lot of actors just have a lot of insecurity about what they do and everything. And,
Oh God, yeah, a lot of them do.
yeah. That's why they act probably, to be able to play
Insecurities and
somebody else who's
neurosis.
not them and everything like that. And so sometimes that still
That's
leaks
why they
through.
can't
So,
get real jobs in regular society.
all right. So I have two more left. The last two 4K. So, Wings of Desire, which
Yay.
we've covered on Indie Film Cafe. I didn't have the Blu-ray of it, and I was like, I gotta, if I'm gonna get anything, I'm gonna spend $5 more and get the
Looked gorgeous.
4K. Oh, it did. So I guarantee it'll look even more gorgeous on 4K, or whatever. So
And the remake has Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I like the
Don't
song.
you say? Don't
I
you
like the
say?
song.
Don't you say?
You know what was coming.
Don't
I
you
like the
say?
song, the Goo Goo Dolls, Iris.
You leave Nick Cage alone. You leave him alone. How dare you? Take
But
it
he's
back.
a vampire. He's a vampire. He's a vampire.
He was in Renfield. He was
There's also
Yeah,
another.
I've got that finally.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, so last but not least, and probably yeah, very not least, is After Hours.
Oh yeah,
Martin
yeah.
Yes.
Scorsese movie.
Like that
I
movie a lot.
watched some of it once again. Got too late, and I was starting to fall asleep, so I was like, can't watch this too late. But it's a really good movie. I remember
Griffin
watching it
Dunn,
for cable when I was a kid and absolutely loving it. So
one of
I
my
was very
favorite
happy to.
actors in the '80s.
What?
Well, and
Griffin Dunn's one of my favorite actors in
Well,
the '80s.
he produced Chili Scenes of Winter.
Okay.
The same company basically did Chili Scenes of Winter and After Hours, which I did not realize that when I bought them both, but I basically bought two from the same group, which was in Chili Scenes of Winter, it was called Triple Play. This it's called Double Play because the third person they had, which was Mark Metcalf, aka I believe he was in Buffy, the TV show. I believe he played if I'm correct, he played the villain from the first season, the main villain,
I
The
don't,
Master?
does it, I don't really
the
think it
The
rings a
master.
bell.
Master?
Yeah, the master. But anyway, he was that was the thing. He was also in National Lampoon's Animal House and a bunch of other stuff. But he helped produce this because I was watching a documentary, and at the time they were there wasn't a strike or anything, but there weren't a lot of people were sort of more going toward like George Lucas and all these other people, and they wanted to just get their stuff out there. So they created this company, Triple Play, and then after I believe after Chili Scenes of Winter, Mark left them, and they did After Hours and a few other movies together with Martin Scorsese because what's her name? Amy Robinson was in Mean Streets. She was an
Ah,
actress. She played the sister of Harvey Keitel, I think, or Robert De Niro. One of them played the sister, and so she was in Mean Streets, so she knew Martin Scorsese. And when they were looking to produce that, they did that, and they starred Griffin. Griffin was the producer of those things too. So
cool.
but he didn't actually even want to really act that much before, and then he did a great job in Chili, like his one little cameo in Chili Scenes of Winter, that he had such a fun time with doing it. He decided to become a full-time actor, and there you go. The rest
And
is
of
history.
course, he was great in American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, fantastic.
In fact, I would say he almost made that movie.
Yeah,
Oh, he
that
was one of the best parts. And he married somebody incredibly hot. I don't think they're married anymore, but Carrie Lowell.
Oh, nice.
mm,
Yeah, who was she was in The Living Daylight. She was a Bond girl. She was in Down Twisted, the Albert Pyun film. So she was gorgeous. So, but also that After Hours is part of like a subgenre because there was also Who's That Girl,
Mm,
Something Wild, and my favorite of that, which I absolutely love, Into the Night, and that's Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer. And that's John Landis.
I'm
mm.
surprised
So
nobody's like done that again. Actually, well, they did sort of because for Hollywood Knockbusters, our last episode will be Trojan War, I believe, and that was like the wild night of going out and all this crazy shit happening all in one night, kind of thing.
but these were more of the pent up straight guy with the tie that works the boring office job
Right.
that goes home and just
Something
cuts,
wild.
and then he meets the crazy woman, the nutty woman with the tattoos and all the the
Drags him out of
bracelets,
his
and
shell.
yeah, then he becomes more loose and free and all that stuff, and at first he hates her and then he falls in love with her, and it's that type. So I don't know, I mean, I guess you could still do it because I mean, the guy would just be all pent up, and the woman would be all free and everything. So maybe you could do it today.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe not because now things are different. You have to switch it up and gender swap it,
I
where
don't
the
know if you
woman
gender
is.
swapped it. That might be bad because then it would just be, oh, his penis is the one that makes her okay. So I think you have to keep it. You have,
Unless he's gay. That would work.
That would work. Diversify it
Yeah.
like that. That's make it a black
Because then
gay
then there's
man.
no sexual tension between them, you know?
there you go. Yeah.
And then he can
Okay.
just teach her how to loosen up and have a good time
I'd
and
watch that.
stop worrying about responsibilities and have some fun in life. Damn it!
He could call her girlfriend a lot.
Nice.
There's the movie.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you
Okay.
go. All
We
right.
solved it.
Well, that was all my haul. That was all your guys' haul. I want to give a quick update, real quick. August is going to be an awesome month, but we aren't recording anything. We still have Indie Film Cafe going on. We still got I think we're gonna be recording another What the Fuck Friday episode coming up soon. We'll be recording Criterion Watch coming up soon, so we'll be back in action with that. We have an Instagram for Criterion Watch that's more active now because we've had it, but I haven't really been active on it. Now I'm becoming more active on it. So there you go.
There you go.
I know Paul's liked a couple of the reels, so
Yeah.
he's been seeing that stuff, and well, I've been posting a lot of the clips from the different shows and stuff like that.
And don't we have some ticky-tacky things too at some point?
We're gonna I'll update some more TikTok stuff. I'll put some more TikTok stuff on Indie Film Cafe. I haven't done that in a while just because been so busy with stuff,
Gotta
but
get the
like right
kids,
now is
man.
actually
They're all on
yeah.
TikTok.
And our TikToks do okay. I mean, we get like a couple hundred views, which is actually not that bad considering I don't get
Right?
that many views on YouTube. Like I'd love it for that to happen on YouTube as well, but who knows?
All the
Um,
kids there are ticking and a talking.
yeah, we're still doing the Blu-ray Hunter and Horror Film Lovers is going to come back with new episodes of that on that YouTube channel. So John and I will be recording some new episodes coming up, I think, for that,
Of what?
of Mainstream Monday.
What?
We're going to bring that back. We got Saul and Paranormal Activity to start getting back.
The horror film lovers.
Yeah, Horror Film Lovers. So
When are we doing that?
I I haven't set a date yet.
Okay.
I'll get you one soon. Because I just got to figure out, when we're gonna. But once we do that, we start going down. We start doing it every week. So
Yeah, because what's new? We have to do a video for Screams. Did we do Scream 6? What
yeah, we
was
did do
new?
Scream 6, I believe. We
What
didn't
just
do
came out? And I said,
the Insidious. But
Insidious.
I
So
want to wait a little bit until it comes out so I can stream it. You know,
that's fine.
I don't like going to the movie theaters anymore. Honestly, it's just a pain in my butt. Paul wanted to see Oppenheimer. I don't even want to go sit in a theater with a bunch of degenerates and watch movies these days.
I don't
You
think
know?
degenerates to go see Oppenheimer. I've heard the big problem
Yeah.
with it is one, it's very long, of course,
Yeah.
and then two, the music is overbearing in every single scene that you can barely hear what people are saying. I mean, that's
I still want to
huge
check it out,
problem.
though.
Yeah.
And I don't mind seeing it if it's something that's visually worth going to see. And
Yeah.
on the big screen, I get a big bucket of popcorn and something to drink, and I'm happy enough. It's just, it's got to be certain people. I'll do it for Christopher Nolan. I'll do it for Guillermo del Toro. I'll do it for Martin Scorsese. Scorsese's got a new movie coming out.
Tarantino, you'll do it for Tarantino.
Tarantino, yeah, but I won't do it for just anyone.
Yeah, Kevin Smith, those people, but you wouldn't do it for, just some random person you barely even like watch their movie.
Or even a movie that's like a big franchise that doesn't really have anybody of note or anybody special.
even if like Marvel had like people you really like, I don't think you'd still want to go see them in the theater. You'd wait.
I mean, the only Marvel movies I think I have seen have been the Joss Whedon ones, and even that wasn't enough to
like
save
the
it.
Avengers.
Yeah.
And then he turned out to be a creep. You guys should go do the Barbieheimer, do the double feature thing.
No, thank you.
No,
Barbie is the thing with that is Barbie is Warner Brothers, I believe, and because of what happened with Tenet, what's his face, the director,
Christopher Nolan.
Thank you, Christopher Nolan. He quit and went over to who did Oppenheimer? Universal. And he went to Universal, and he's like, well, fuck Warner Brothers. You guys treated Tenet like crap. and Warner purposely released Barbie on the same day as Oppenheimer to piss him off, and not realizing that this whole Barbieheimer thing would happen. And there's even posters for it. And now
So now, like
Barbie's
that's the thing. There be between both of them, there's like something $1 billion, like or
Well,
whatever.
and
yeah.
that's really what the studios needed. They really needed something like this because there has not been much that's been very good out there. And when there are big movies, they tend to be by themselves and they dominate everything. This way, as much as I have no interest in Barbie whatsoever, the fact is that it's generated a whole lot of interest from other people who otherwise would not be going to the theaters. And you've got two competing. And
And
now
they're
you've
both,
got
and
people
people are watching
going to do
both
three.
of them.
Yeah, watch both of them.
Yeah, because the girls are Barbie, the guy is Oppenheimer. My big issue is, of course, my man Tom Cruise is Mission Impossible is getting fucked beyond belief. It just eked past its budget.
Oof.
And at least the reported budget. So technically it's a failure. And it's all because of this.
Barbenheimer.
Would you say Oppenheimer just set a bomb on Mission Impossible?
Pretty much. Well, and Sound of Freedom screwed over everybody too.
Yeah.
Nobody expected that.
And nobody expected that. And on top of that, it's so funny because it made more than its budget, or whatever. Like it like exploded with what it was made for. But on top of it, it's not killing it as far as like it's not destroying the movies that are there, because
there's a
those movies
certain
are still making billions more dollars.
There's a certain segment of the audience out there that have no interest in Barbie or Oppenheimer, or even Tom Cruise, and so this is sort of hitting there.
Yeah. So there's everything. Right now in the theaters there is a lot of different stuff. There's even that Talk to Me movie that's out from Blumhouse, which has apparently I just got a message from somebody saying, or Vincent Pereira saying that Talk to Me, I think I should watch that or something.
Well, I tell you one thing I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the Australian parody of Barbie, and you can call it Shrimp on the Barbie.
That would be okay. I'd watch that, maybe. Maybe if they did it as a SNL skit.
Barbie is out there. She's a deep sea fisherman, or fisher person. Sorry. With Ken, and they have their Barbie dream trawler.
I did see Barbie, so let's just say I sailed the high seas to see it, and because I ain't gonna pay for it, but I didn't hate it, but I don't get it either. I understand the men's side, that it's a man-hating movie, and I get that the women call it a feminist film, girl power. I don't think it's a girl power movie, because nobody changes in the entire film. Ken changes, but the Barbies don't change at all, except at the very end, Barbie does get a vagina. So that's her.
She what?
She gets a vagina.
Oh my goodness!
Spoiler alert!
Wow.
So, are you actually going to watch it?
She's earned her stripes. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, she's
earned her vag.
Yeah,
badge of honor.
Her badge of honor.
That's the only change of her. So
there you go. Perfect version of ours. Badge of honor. Who would want to watch a movie like that?
Well, I mean, now that she does have her private parts, I guess they could do a lot of porn parodies, because
No, God, yeah, I hope so.
I'm sure they're already doing that. That's happening.
Yeah.
Porn's always ahead of the game.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why it's so popular. I mean, I guess I'm a man, so the film's not made for me. I guess I have to say that, because but it's not.
We're not in the demographic, and
we're not.
What can I say? And I don't like how there are people out there who want to attack people, or especially men, who don't want to see Barbie. I just have no interest. I'm sorry. I tell you.
I don't like that, and I don't like that. Like, people, I feel like a lot of people go to see it because it's making other people upset and everything, and that, to me, is not a reason to go watch a movie.
Yeah, I don't understand people getting upset either. It's just
don't get upset. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If it's not for you,
But on the same token, I'm not going to scream at somebody for not watching a movie that I really, really like. just accusing them of I don't know, sexism or genderism or ageism or whatever. There's so many choices out there. Let people watch what they want to watch,
They want
for
to
God's
watch it.
sakes.
I
Yeah,
agree with you
it's
100%.
it's I like Greta Gerwig. I've enjoyed her films in the past. I liked Lady Bird.
And
I
Noah
liked that,
Baumbach co-wrote it, and
and
he's
Yeah.
yeah,
done
and I
some
liked his
amazing
films. The
stuff. I
Squid
like
and the
him.
Whale was really good.
I
She was
like
part
Greta
of the
Gerwig. I don't like Irma
Mumblecore.
Broadwick.
Why don't you like? No,
So
you have you seen Kicking and Screaming? It's freaking amazing.
Mm-mm.
Oh man, so
yeah,
you
Squid
know,
and
I
the
don't think
Whale
you've
is
seen
really good.
anything of his. You just don't like him because he's popular, like in the sort of indie, realm
Who are we
or
talking
whatever.
about?
Noah Baumbach, the Squid and the Whale director.
Oh, I'm thinking, never mind. I'm thinking Nora Ephron. I don't know why I got those two
No,
confused.
two totally different people.
Yeah, and
But
they're
Yeah.
he
not
was one of the
even the same
co-writers
gender.
on
That's
Barbie, and it's I will say Barbie. It's well directed. The sets and everything. The film looks amazing, and it's almost 2 hours, but it goes by pretty fast. There is a
I
song
mean,
in it
I
called
heard
"I
it
Am
looked very
10."
plastic, I guess on
That
purpose.
that's what it's supposed to look like. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make a lot of sense, and it does bash on men. At one point, Barbie is called Barbie White Savior, and I'm just like, oh, good. So we have to have the like Hispanic girl called Barbie a white savior. That's nice. So
And I
they
don't care about any of that. I just have no interest
so
in
it's
the movie, the character, dolls in general.
yeah.
well, and they don't tell the whole history of Barbie because Mattel did not create Barbie. They bought it from a German company. The doll was invented in Germany and was
Uber Barbie.
huge.
A
She
Nazi
Nazi
was.
one.
Barbie, Hitler Barbie.
Yeah,
There we go.
it was a huge doll in
God, now I
Germany.
would watch that.
See, that's you keep coming up with like great ideas for like Hitler movies,
Yes.
like
Because it's offensive. And I
because
want
it's
to offend
offensive.
people.
Yeah,
Fuck them.
What if Hitler created Barbie, like Uber Barbie, instead of the
Yep.
Volkswagen?
it would be
Uber
called
Barbie.
a Mine Barbie.
It
But
wouldn't
that's
be
the thing is
Barbie, though. It would
they
be like
they
Gretchen or something.
yeah, they did make the doll, and then the woman saw the doll when she went to Germany. She took one home with her, brought it to like Mattel, and said, "Why don't you make this?"
Wow,
And
fascinating. So it's almost like espionage, like corporate espionage.
I
well,
was
yeah, because they bought out that company in Germany, shut it down, got rid of all the German dolls, and then said, "Oh, look, we've created this doll for little girls called Barbie."
See, there's the movie. That's the movie I would want to watch. I'd be
see,
very
yeah,
interested in
there was
that.
another movie that was sort of like it was like a video game thing or something, but it was like the behind the scenes of like what happened with the video game creation or something. But it was like a real like movie, or whatever with and that kind of stuff I'm interested in. Like I'm interested in the behind the scenes of stuff,
Mhm.
especially if it involves spy thriller type, you know, espionage type stuff. I like that.
Yeah,
So
it's brought up like Rita Perlman plays the original woman who brought Barbie to the US, and she explains to Barbie why the Barbie doll is very important. But she never mentions, oh yeah, I took that trip as a little girl to Germany and I found this doll, and then they shut that down, and Mattel kind of stole it. She doesn't mention any of that. She just mentions that she brought the doll to Mattel. So the true story definitely is not there. It's only
Well, the
half
other
there.
the other interesting bit to me would be how much of the original Barbie, German Barbie, is in the modern American boobalicious Barbie with no, you know, anatomically correct stuff going on. You know what I mean? I'm wondering how much it changed
you could
from the way the
probably see
German was.
online, you could probably Google the German Barbie and find out what it looked like.
That would be interesting to see that in a film, or
Yeah.
the generation or the evolution from the one to the other.
Yeah. Well, it sounds
Yeah,
more like a documentary or something,
there is. That's where I saw it was on YouTube. I think it was like the history of Barbie or something, and that's how they
And then
started it. So I think they do show the
when
German doll.
when was the decision to bring in Ken, and why? Why was there a
Once
decision?
again, I think that would probably be in that the evolution of Barbie uh
Because
thing on YouTube.
dolls are pretty traditional as far as little girls playing with them, and not to get into gender roles and all that kind of crap. It's just that that's always been a thing, but it's almost always the one doll, female doll. When did they bring in male dolls too? And then for why? I mean, because come on, I mean, dolls having sex. That's the only thing I can think of why you would bring in a male doll for a female doll.
I think for marriage, I think for it's to have the male doll at the time that he was brought out, because men did stuff and women were in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So they hadn't done Dr. Barbie yet, or Mechanic Barbie yet, or Army Barbie yet. It was all.
You're saying they're reinforcing societal values by saying Barbie needs to get married,
needs a man. But that's the thing.
Barbie
that's where I thought it was interesting in the movie, because a lot of these guys like Ben Shapiro and all these people, who are making it political.
Oh God!
If you look at Ken, nobody gave a shit about Ken as a doll. Nobody cared. They only cared about Barbie. Ken was just there. Nobody cared about Ken. So in the movie, that's how Ken is looked at. Barbie is, as the poster says, Barbie is everything and Ken is Ken. And I thought, okay, well, that's how the doll was looked at. Mm-hmm. Ken didn't really have a life outside of Barbie.
I can tell you, as a little kid going to preschool, and boys had blocks and trucks and army soldiers, girls had dolls and stuffies and things. But whenever I remember seeing girls playing with Barbie, they always had a male doll with them, and it was never Ken. It was like G.I. Joe, or it was Evel Knievel. Right.
Because they were real men. Ken wasn't.
Ken was boring, Yeah,
and that's how he's looked at in the movie. But all these guys are saying, oh, it's a movie that hates men. But it's like, but that's how Ken is looked at in real life.
Yeah.
So I'm not defending the movie, because I do think it has its big issues. I mean, the very end of it, and I mean, I gave away the vagina part, but I won't say the very end. But there is a moment in the film where the Barbies could change to help the Kens, and they don't. So there's, in my opinion, there's no growth with the Barbies at all. There is growth with the Kens, because they're all called Ken, and all the Barbies are Barbie. But the Ken, our main Ken, Ryan Gosling brings back the patriarchy to Barbie land and turns it into a bro world.
Oh God.
So awful. now everybody's working out, they're taking steroids, they're watching, action movies. Their big thing is like cowboys and horses, and they've kind of destroyed Barbie land. Which I would have thought would be interesting is if they just said, okay, go make Ken land.
It almost sounds like they're doing a brony movie. Like the guys who are not supposed to love My Little Pony, but they do. You know what I mean? And that's what it's kind of reminding me of a little bit from what you're describing the whole Ken situation.
Well, all right. This feels like a whole nother show. And
this may be the only time I get to talk about it.
I know. Well, I don't know. I mean, I almost feel like you guys should go back and, even with Paul just discussing why he doesn't want to see it. Kind of thing.
I am trying to find somebody to have a debate or conversation with in a video. One person already turned me down.
Yeah, nobody wants to debate it, because like if they look bad, then you know what I mean? Then that looks bad for the movie, I guess, itself. But
I just even though I like Critical or a Critical Drinker. He did a thing on it. I'm not even interested in watching that. I just don't want to.
I would say he was 90% right, because I watch him all the time. I'd say he's 90% right. I really don't think it could be a revenge movie of women against men, but none of the Barbies are good. They're not nice. They're nice to each other, but they're not nice to men at all. So they're not good.
So why couldn't they start like serial killing the Kens? That would have been fun.
Money. I mean, rating. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's already PG-13.
Yeah.
I mean, think about like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, or the
well, see, that's a whole different thing. Like,
what's the other one? The Banana Splits, where they come to life and start murdering people.
Well, because those became public domain, or they bought the rights. Yeah. This is Mattel. Even the characters for Mattel, Will Ferrell is like the president of the company. They're looked at as bumbling fools. And so they're not shown in a very good light, but they're all money oriented. Right. That's what companies do. They make money. So even though they're buffoons, that's correct.
Or
So
you
if
could
they
have done
find a
something like where the Barbies actually came from outer space and they're there to collect data on humans and yeah.
no, you know what it is. Barbie World, all the people at Mattel know that Barbie World exists. It's very easy to get into their dimension. But what it is in Barbie Land, the way that everything moves is from the little girl in the real world playing with the doll. So in the trailer, when you see Barbie go from the roof and she kind of floats down, that's the little girl that's playing with her, bringing her from the top of the house down to the ground. So there is kind of this weird dimension thing,
What's she
but
doing on the top of the house?
she goes up and because that's where the little girl in the real world put her. Is she took her and put her on top of the Barbie dream house. But if you remember, and I'll make this short so we can split. But if you remember the ending of Land of the Dead, and at the end they were going to shoot all the zombies that are kind of walking over that bridge, and the main guy is like, no, leave them alone, let them do their own thing. You know, they'll set up their own zombie world type of thing. I thought that's what they should have done with this, with the Kens, is let the Kens go. If you want to keep Barbie Land the way it is, then have the Kens set up Kenland. And
And that
let
could
them
be
be,
its own spin-off movie.
yeah, and let them be the bros and the guys that watch Fast and the Furious and take the steroids and let them do their own thing. Why keep them down? Because that's what they continue to do.
Hmm. All right,
So
last comment. Zombie Kens versus vampire Barbies. Let's make that.
You can't. That's
Good job, Ward.
yeah. You and you
Yes.
would be all for it.
I would watch if Paul's name was on all these movies, I would buy them all.
It's so much
Yes.
fun.
Yes. Hitler Barbie and Hitler
Yes.
and you know, all
Well,
this shit.
they kind of
So
did that with what's her name? She Wolf of the S. Ilsa, She Wolf of the SS.
oh my god, they so need why Rob Zombie has not made that into a movie with Nicolas Cage as Fu
Seriously.
Manchu. I have
Seriously.
no idea. That is probably the greatest bit of casting ever.
Yep.
That would have been perfect.
And
And
throw
his
Tommy
wife would be.
Wiseau in there too.
So I don't know about that.
I do.
I'm not. No.
He doesn't like The Room, remember?
Udo
You know?
Kier.
Oh well, he is in the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got that right. Tommy has to do his own thing. Rob does his own thing. So just let the Rob Zombie people be in it. Tommy
Yeah,
can make his own.
I
Fu
thought
Manchu.
he was gonna say Sherry Moon Zombie.
Oh, who of course has to play.
She's in the trailer too.
Elsa.
She's Elsa. She has the
Yeah,
whip.
she has to, you know, she has to be because she's in everything and she's almost a lead in everything he does because, you know, it's his wife.
Why not?
And she's hot. I mean, and she's
Barbie
not a terrible
Emmanuel.
actress, so like,
How
I
about
mean,
that?
go for it.
Barbie Emmanuel.
All done with dolls.
Yep.
It's like stop motion.
All right, everybody. Well, I think that's about it. We have a couple, you know, more things that are going to be happening with the with Indie Film Cafe, but we really went off on a whole Barbie tangent.
We sure did.
So that has to be part of the title now of the video. So.
Yeah,
Right.
plus Barbie
All
talk.
Blu-ray Barbie.
Yeah. Oh, Criterion, Barbie, you know, all that stuff. So yeah. All right, that's a long ass title for a long ass video. So thank you guys for checking this out. This is the second to last one we'll be doing for a little bit, but we'll probably be back with more shit.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll do pickups if we get anything, you know.
There'll be more reasons to cancel us. Don't you worry.
All right, for sure. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and everybody, thank you guys for checking this out. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.